What up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Proper Cloth. Proper Cloth is the best way to get custom fit shirts, right? That fit you exactly right this fall. They sent me these unbelievable shirts. I'm talking about flannels, plaids, twills, stuff to wear under coats, under blazers, key winter staples, and it was so easy. All I had to do was go to their website and click a few things about my size, my build, a few very basic measurements, not full tailor stuff, but just the basics, and then choose from there. They send me the stuff. I got to wash it first. You got to wash your Proper Cloth first, and then the fit was perfect. No tailoring necessary. The Teton Sage flannel, oh man, wear it as an overshirt, pairs great with jeans. You could rock a sweater if you're under it, although I haven't done the sweater thing. I just keep it over a t-shirt with the jeans. You guys have seen me wear this on the show. And then they sent me the Jackson Russ plaid shirt. It's a work shirt. It's so nice. Also wearing it with jeans because that's literally how I dress every single day. Also looks great with some chinos. And then I got the non-iron stretch Supima light blue twill shirt. And this thing is great with a blazer. It's great under a cool coat. Great for interviews, on-camera stuff, or weddings. Pair it with a navy suit, gray dress pants, or a cool coat. I love Proper Cloth. It's perfect for people who are frustrated with off-the-rack sizing. Maybe you're not a standard size, and so everything that Proper Cloth sells is made exactly in your size. So it fits perfectly, and you can customize shirts to your liking, including collar style, buttons, sleeve style. You can add monograms, and no measuring required. Gets to you in under 2 weeks, and if you're not satisfied with the fit, Proper Cloth's experts will provide a free alteration or a return. So it's a risk-free order. They've got thousands of 5-star reviews. I now have 7 or 8 different items from Proper Cloth, and the fit is excellent with all of them. Just remember to wash them first. Proper Cloth is based in New York City and was featured as GQ's favorite online shirt maker. All right, folks, on this episode of the show, Scotto is back, and we've got 2.5 hours of fucking meandering nonsense. We talk about old Volkswagens. We talk about the jobs he used to have and the ones he wants to have in the future, the junk laying around his house and the junk laying around my shop, and a whole lot more. It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Let's go.
I still hold the record?
Let's just say I don't have any plans.
Do I still hold the record?
I've not made the mistake of booking my trainer for this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you do, but
single person. I know you guys
do, but it's by like minute. I mean, the thousandth.
Right.
The thousandth is like.
But I feel like that's a multiplayer sport.
Yeah,
right?
That was a team effort.
Right.
Yeah, but you do. I believe still hold
single guest.
I believe
hold the record.
Yeah.
Something to. I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but here we are.
No, it's not something that I want to just going for longer isn't like a goal. Like if it's some great conversation,
then you go.
You are so good at longish form that I don't have plans after this. So we go as long as we go and whatever. But like I don't want to fucking others to come in here and
we don't
be
want
all...
the Chappelle situation where it was like him and who are the other comics for like a year were trying to do the longest stand-up set. And I think he did 7 hours in New York.
Oh, it must have been garbage.
It was just like wandering. Yeah, but it's wandering thoughts. It's not dense content.
Yeah. It's not that perfect 6 minutes.
That's the Guns N' Roses. Have you seen Guns N' Roses perform in the last 5 or 6 years?
No.
They are.
Are we talking like Axl Rose?
Yeah, Guns N' Roses. Yeah,
not like. Because what was the spin-off? Was Velvet Underground or what? Like?
Oh, well, there was like, Velvet Revolver was some members. No, I'm talking about the reunited Axl and Slash Guns N' Roses.
I didn't even know they reunited, which I have to say I'm embarrassed I don't know, because I loved Guns N' Roses as a kid.
Well,
I loved it.
I did too.
We're about the same age, right?
Yeah.
By the way, we have the same birthday.
We have the same birthday, which we bring up all the time.
46.
December 1. Yeah, I'm 44.
Okay,
so, we're give or take. So, Appetite for Destruction, Use Your Illusions, no notes.
Yeah,
perfect,
no notes. Perfect
record.
album.
And I saw them back in the day on that famous tour with Metallica. But if you see them now, it is clear that what they are doing is making up for lost time, because they're doing like 3 hour and 40 minute sets that are just, when I saw them last summer and I go, this would have been the tightest fucking 90 of all time, you know? And like, but on the other hand, like if Pearl Jam does that because I'm such a big fan, I'm like, yes, deep cuts, all this, but like I didn't know that people are that into Guns N' Roses like that, where they're going like, this is the 9th track on the Spaghetti Incident, and you're like, all right, whatever, man. Let me get a little Paradise City and I'll be on my way, you know. But so the deep cuts.
Trust me, I think about that a lot. Like when we've got like this clock in the back of, you know, my podcast studio, which is AKA my garage.
Yeah, of course.
And I had never used the clock before, and it was like counting completely weird on my first one. And I'm just trying to be like, I think it's been 2 hours. I don't know, because it's like a weird stopwatch. And I do think to myself, does anyone really want to keep listening? Like, or have we gone past the Overton window of what is acceptable for banter about automotive cars? But then at the same time, I'm now on my 3rd podcast, and they're all over 2 hours. I can't do less than 2 hours.
You're using YouTube, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
So how long are people listening? Have you looked yet?
I've only released 2 in the past week. Right?
Wait till you get like 20, and then we'll see.
So it's like kind of hard to see the numbers because it's like, you know, there's like 30 to 40 minute like listen time, which like is when I'm coming from the world of making videos, like you want 70% you know, duration or better of like watch time, but that was out of a 10-minute video. So you're like, okay, people are listening for a long time, but they're not listening for the whole time.
And you get skewed with the people who listen for a minute and click away.
You have to drop that off. After that, it's like a really gradual fall off all to the end. So.
And it also is like, how long are people's commutes? And just like the way people listen is like a little different, especially if you were doing episodic, where each episode, this is a complete story and you're not holding people. But if it's more like morning radio, friends bullshitting like we do here, I can accept the fact that people are not, they don't need to hear, they're not riveted onto what happens next, and that's okay.
One of the early comments was, holy shit, Scotto, like happy to have you back, but 2 hours? And I just replied, trust me, I understand.
You got a lot to say, bro.
Like, it's cool if you don't want to listen, I get it. Like,
but you can put it out there. I mean, maybe it means you got to fucking chop it up, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, it's just I came on this podcast, I guess, like a year ago, being like, I'm going to launch a podcast. It took me a year to do it, but hey, I did it.
Okay.
I'm happy. Your comment was nice.
What did I say?
He commented on the second one. It just said, we're so proud of you that you actually released the second one.
The second one, yeah.
It's like, you know, I might not be good at finishing my cars, but I made a lot of media in my time.
Well, no, you said something on the first episode that I really identified with. You were like, I'm great at starting things, but not finishing. Or maybe Ron or Vin were throwing shade.
I will start. I can start everything.
Me too. So
I am an amazing starter.
Yeah. How many unfinished?
If there was a relay race, you
now?
Want me at the first part of the relay race.
Right.
If I was getting the baton at the end, I'd be like in the stands eating hot dogs.
Sure. Yeah. You couldn't sit there through the race just waiting for the baton to get to you.
I would be on my phone. I'd be like doing something else, talking to the javelin guy.
I can't find you.
You'd be like, I want to try this sport now. Like, don't you have something to finish over there? I'm going to throw stuff.
Yeah, new is really exciting.
Yeah. Short-term projects.
Yeah, which is why I have 26 cars, because you just like rotate through them. You're like, oh, this is new again. I haven't seen this car in 2 years. I forgot I have
so
this.
Funny.
That is a fun idea. But it was cool. You did the first show was like chopped up into 3 kind of little shows within.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool experiment thing.
Which is something that stems from my ADHD, which is like I can never just settle on one idea. It's like, I want to do a bunch of different things. And that was very much the story of Hoonigan. Was like, we have a new show. Hey, guess what? New show.
Yeah.
Hey, did you like this show? It's no more because there's a new show. So I think with the very vehicular, the whole idea was like, it's going to be a testing ground for other shows. Because I actually, as much as I enjoy...
So do you want to do the Brian Scotto podcast network?
Yeah, just the whole network is just me. No, I think it's that while I really enjoy this formula, like the banter formula, and I know you know this, it really works when you have the right guests. Sometimes I think with the wrong guest, it's just not the right formula for a show.
True.
And we used to do this all the time, and it was actually a conversation that came up on that pod was when Hoonigan did Build Bio, right? Donut did another version after we did it called Bumper to Bumper, right? And we argued that, man, I think that may actually be a better show than our show. And the reason was it was very consistent because James Pumphrey was very good at delivering the show. With the problem with Build Bio was sometimes you get people on who had never been in front of the camera before.
Yeah.
And just the whole time they're like staring at the camera, they're nervous,
Sure.
like they're not good at telling a story. They have built an amazing car, but
Relying
they don't
on those people to be
so you never know.
So we learned this when driving fucking people's cars for however many goddamn years, but also for many years podcasting. I was fully convinced that every episode was a guest driven episode.
Right.
And then Spike, of course, once was like, "Hey man, you know, like they're here for you, right?" And so we started doing more episodes with no guests and realized they were outperforming all but our like best guests.
Yeah.
And so now we instituted what I call the famous or familiar rule. That people don't like the audience doesn't like meeting new people.
Right.
So I want someone I already know and know what the vibe is going to be, or someone where they're famous and I want to see what they have to say.
Right.
But like nothing in between.
Like Gordon Murray's in town. He gets on the show.
Actually, we're getting
I'm
Gordon
familiar,
virtually.
so I get to come again.
We're getting Gordon virtually. You're actually
next
you
week,
cross over both a bit because you were YouTube famous, and YouTube famous does very well for us.
Okay.
Like when we have YouTube famous people, it actually does better than like.
That's true. It's
Bro,
true. It's true.
I get
Our
introduced as a
famous.
YouTuber all the time, and I die inside. But like,
What are you?
I like to say
what's your
automotive
hyphenated?
journalist. That's what I like to
Yeah.
say. But
Yeah.
whatever. I die. I can die inside. I can afford it.
I think it was really hard for me to remove that badge when I started Hoonigan.
Journalist.
Yeah, because I very quickly wasn't a journalist anymore, and I was such a serious journalist. Like, I really cared
Magazine
about
guy.
journalism,
Like
magazine
proper
guy,
magazine
and
guy,
was very
yeah.
like I was taking my inspiration from like Vanity Fair and Wired, and I was really into journalism. Read the New York Times every day, and was like into the art of journalism in automotive. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm gonna make videos about burnout.
Sure.
It changed a little bit.
Dude, I now write for the magazine I grew up reading. So that's a weird one, you know.
As do I occasionally.
You know, one of the reasons, but one of the reasons I actually really like it is because the fact checking. Like, I like getting fact checked, actually, and I like knowing the finished product is like as factually correct as it possibly can be. I actually really enjoy that.
Here's a random question and something I think about a lot. If you could pause a moment of your career and just live in it, what moment would that be?
Oh boy. Ooh. Like freeze frame and just have that roll forever, or just like literally like a moment?
No, like freeze frame that era, right? In a way that like technology doesn't shift, the trend doesn't shift, so you could still stay and be successful at it, right? Like, what is that peak moment?
I mean, I would have loved to be able to continue to do the show with Spinelli and Harris, and like to be able to continue to work in a group with my friends, Zach and Thad and Morningstar behind the scenes, and JF and Chris and me and
team.
Like,
it was fun. That was really fun.
And I think if that had been allowed to evolve for even half as long as like a Top Gear, like I'm not saying we wanted to be Top Gear, but like. And Chris got to be Top Gear, but like our own thing. But if we had been given the 5 years, it could have been like really amazing. So I would have loved to be doing that. That was like the most fun it ever got.
You guys were too early.
On everything.
On everything.
You were too
Drive
early.
Network was too early.
Yeah.
Paywall was too early.
That's why I've stopped doing
Drive
things.
Network was Drive Network was the cautionary tale of what not to do on YouTube.
I've been so many cautionary tales. Yeah.
Although I'm pro paywall, but
I'm pro Patreon.
We were like 8 years
Patreon,
early
too.
for that, or 10 years maybe. If we had, because now everyone has a paywall, everyone has a Patreon, and fans are totally fine with it. But back then, everything was free, and that was the advantage of YouTube, is that you could get this content for free. You don't need to have a cable subscription or whatever. So the idea of putting it behind, dollars was like offensive to everybody.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
No, for me though, I think that era was the 0 to 60 era. I didn't realize how much fun I was having until it was over. First of all, I drove cars all the time. I mean, I barely get to like go rip on the track anymore. Back then, it was like once a week. It's like I remember at one point,
so much seat
I
time.
hit 150 laps at Laguna Seca in like a year because they love. At that moment, like every press junket was like, "We can put you up in Monterey, and you can go to Laguna."
Was that when Mazda took it over? And it was like,
everybody was there. It felt like I would be leaving one trip, come to LA for like 2 days, and then go back to another trip in Laguna and stuff like that.
That's funny. Now that's like
good.
Spain.
I was going to say, yeah.
That's
really?
No, it's literally everyone goes to Spain now. I think because from the European side, it's cheaper to get all the shit down there, and like the weather's predictable, and I think the tracks are really cheap.
Oh, interesting.
I think they're really
There's
cheap.
no way it's as expensive as Laguna. There's
Well,
no
no,
way.
Laguna is probably one of the most expensive tracks in the world, but
But yeah, I love that era.
Yeah.
And I love, I realize as all of this has gone on, I just like tangible media. Something I really enjoy, and I like long form. And
Yeah.
I really struggle to like want to make stuff for Instagram because I know it's important to be visible.
Yeah.
And I told myself in the beginning of November, I'm like, all right, the new Gymkhana is coming out. I've got this, I'm trying to launch my podcast and I'm trying to do all this other stuff. Like I have to start posting again because I posted like 6 times in the entire year. I'm unfortunately like chronically online, so it's not like I'm not on Instagram.
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy like the short format as much as I
me either
enjoy
at
this.
all, dude.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, maybe you have a new strategy. You've always been better at internet than me and pretty much everybody. But like I've found that almost all posts that indicate some other type of media is somewhere else. A podcast
Gets throttled.
Get fully fucking throttled. Whereas like my cat, or just some random bullshit is like normal.
Yeah.
Each platform wants you to create shit just for that platform. And also like the clip software, which it kills me to use AI, but we've been using that Opus clip software.
Okay.
I think Instagram is throttling that because they don't want people using fucking AI shit, which I understand because I don't like AI shit, but like, it would be a headache to go start making clips for Instagram by hand
At
again.
the level you need to.
Yeah.
It's interesting. One of the things I realized recently is that photos of me do very well, which as like this. It's like I'm aging. This is not my favorite
dude.
version of myself.
People follow you on Instagram to see pictures of
you. And
doesn't that
I don't
suck
know if
ass?
it's like I don't know if it's like a Gen X thing, but like I don't want pictures of me. That's not who I am. I don't even have a photo of me as my avatar. I have a drawing of my rabbit, and I'll post a photo of me because someone said, you should post a photo of yourself. Like, and I was like, all right, fine. And it like did really well. And I'm like, oh man,
Bro,
now I
didn't
need
you
to do this.
literally co-invent the YouTuber face?
Yeah.
You literally co-invented the YouTuber face.
Yeah.
It shouldn't surprise you.
And it's just one of those things that.
Oh, it sucks that you have to do this now, but it's such fucking poetic justice. For years, you've been telling other people that they have to do this to
like
be
this.
successful.
Like that does well for me. It's like
You look like Jason Camisa in
Yeah.
that picture, by the way.
I'll take that as a compliment. Jason's a good-looking man.
He is.
So it's better than what other people have said. Everyone tells me I look like Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer?
Yeah,
I think you
see
look
it.
more like Jason Camisa than Bert
I'll take
Kreischer in that
Bert
photo.
Kreischer.
No.
I'll take that. So.
No, you don't. I love Bert, but you do not look like Bert. Folks, got to take a quick break because HelloFresh is here. You may have heard of HelloFresh from people like me. They're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easier with chef-crafted recipes and fresh ingredients delivered straight to your door. But this fall, they're serving up even more to love. This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. It's bigger because HelloFresh has doubled its menu with up to 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. Plus, it's healthier. Feel great with an even healthier menu. Choose from 15 high-protein recipes each week with options like grass-fed ribeyes or lamb chops. HelloFresh now helps you eat greener with new veggie-packed recipes that have 2 or more veggies per dish. And it's tastier. You can get steak and seafood recipes delivered every week for no extra cost with 3 times the seafood options. Savor the season with hearty fall recipes like classic beef chili or honey glazed pork tenderloin. Discover new seasonal produce each week, from leeks to broccolini to Italian eggplant and more. I love HelloFresh because not only the ingredients exactly proportioned the way you want, not only is the recipe super easy, not only is there less food waste because they give you the exact amount of each ingredient to make the food you need, but also you keep those recipe cards, you do some multiplication, and you can use those recipes at home later if you want to cook for a crowd. I love cooking, but I don't like the annoying parts of cooking, which is everything that's not the cooking part and the eating part. And so HelloFresh eliminates that. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com patreon.com/smokingtire10fm now to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life. One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's hellofresh.com/smokingtire10fm to get 10 free meals and free breakfast for life. Support is also coming in today from Aura Frames. Aura Frames make the perfect gift for the olds in your life. They make it seem like you planned this gift all along. And especially if you are the middle generation, meaning you have kids and you have parents, this is how you deliver your kids to your parents. You give your parents the Aura frame. You already loaded up with pictures of the kids. You then download the Aura app at home, and you keep adding photos of the kids to the folder, and then the parents get the photos in the living room on the Aura frame. That's it. That is the entire deal. It comes in a gift box, nice premium gift box with no price tag, and you cannot wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. It's that easy. All you got to do is get the parents the Aura frame, put the pictures of the kids in the folder, and then the parents get the kids. It's like that. And for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code TIRE at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code TIRE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and the frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. That's AURA frames.com/TIRE, promo code TIRE. Auraframes.com/TIRE, promo code TIRE. Also brought to you today by True Work. True Work is fire. Not literally on fire. It's just good. It's really good. Fall weather, it's always changing, right? And if you have to be outside in it, like I do, like I'm in this studio recording, but this morning, all morning from 6 to 11 or so, I was on top of a mountain. And they went from very cold to very hot. And that's why True Work is what I was wearing. It's money. Money. It's performance workwear built like it matters, because it does. Sometimes you want to be hot, sometimes you want to be cool. And True Work was founded by a trade professional who was tired of wet, heavy gear weighing him down. So True Work set out to make workwear that keeps the pros comfortable, capable, and ready for whatever the day throws at them. And maybe if you're not a pro, maybe you're an automotive journalist, you also like to be comfortable and capable and ready for whatever the day throws at you. True Work's designed with advanced performance fabrics for lasting comfort, all-day mobility, and year-round job site protection. Every piece is tested on job sites with trade pros, so when conditions change, you're still ready. There's over 50,000 five-star reviews from pros in every trade and every climate. And when I wear this stuff I'm telling you, when I go film, I go out in December, I get up there 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., it is approximately 38 degrees. And then the sun comes out and it's windy, right? And it's windy and it's about 40 degrees and it's cold. And then by the time I'm done filming, it's like 75 degrees and I'm sweating. That's why the True Work is what's up. It's ready for this flowing weather throughout the day, climbing in and out of the car, climbing around light poles to clamp cameras on them and everything. You know how it is. So upgrade your day with workwear built like it matters. Get 15% off your first order at truework.com, code TIRE. That's TRUEWERK.com, code TIRE. Now, back to the show. But that's hilarious that you now have to put pictures of yourself out there. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like doing the thing. But for me, Instagram is a necessary evil to promote the other stuff, I guess.
Did you put on a kangaroo suit to ride a Segway in the video specifically as a counterpoint to that?
I actually didn't ride the Segway this time.
Really?
So Jim York, who also played the Crocodile Dundee character in the one shot, and also is the guy that drove the Outback into the water to prove that it wasn't just a puddle, he did all the stunts. Like, we just had him kind of jump in for all of that. that.
We're talking about, of course, the new Gymkhana,
Yes.
which is fun. There were, as I was watching it, there were multiple places where I experienced some real surprise and delight. When Travis, spoilers for Gymkhana, but when Travis first
Honestly, if you
drives,
haven't seen it yet, maybe you.
yeah, but when he first drives into the Bathurst race, I went, that's fucking choice. That's extremely choice. And the scene at the end with him fucking ripping with people in the back seat of it is a fucking closer of closers. That's awesome.
So the Bathurst one is, I think, the only thing in the past couple of years that feels new to me.
It totally
right?
new.
That everything else is like, we've turned the dial to 11.
Yeah.
Does it go to 11 and a half?
Yeah.
Does it go to 12, right? It was always about one-upping the bar on something we've already done, right? Like, oh, he's jumped something. Can he jump something bigger? We jumped a boat. We jumped a helicopter. Can we jump a road train? Can it be higher? Can it be further?
Yeah.
Right? It's just expanding it. You know, he drove over a small body of water. Now let's make it a bigger body of water. It's like eventually you just start getting to the limit of, like, one, the danger gets higher and higher. The Bathurst scene, when it was happening, I was giddy laughing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I broke from being a director and just being like, oh, I was yelling. I literally yelled when he slid out and, Nick in the Bandex car popped through the smoke. Because that happened on the second take.
Oh, sick.
Like, it was right there. We did one warm-up run, and then we did a take, and my timing was a little off, and they had a break. Like, they were up too close, and you could see them slowing down. Mm-hmm. And I famously told them somewhere, because I call out my actions, I count them down, and that's where the 3, 2, 1 action came from, was because we added all these extra, like, we added an extra action and all these things so that we could do timing off of it, but also so that I knew the driver would hear me, because the comms were usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then it became this thing, especially because of the Amazon show, but we did a 10 count, so we counted down from 10, and I realized I had to call the cars somewhere between 3 and 2. Mm. And just after Derek Dauncey, I don't know if you know Derek, but he was the team principal for Ken's team for years. Mm-hmm. He has a FIA homologation mustache. You know, he's British.
Oh,
he's very motorsport.
Yeah.
He's very motorsport. And even though he's a really funny guy, he's always seriously deadpan. So. But I brought him in as
he looked like a Nigel Mansell
100%.
mustache.
100%.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
He's got that look. And he, by the way,
mustache
he
is a perfect description.
He is fantastic. He's a fantastic and delightful person. Mm-hmm. We used to refer to him as dear old dad, which is funny because he was only a year or two older than Ken. And someone once went up to him and said, "Oh, you must be so proud of your son." He's like, my son. So we always call him Daryl Dad. But anyway, he's always like my liaison to motorsports. Like, we go to like deal with real motorsports people, supercar. I'm like, I need him to translate to them, because otherwise they look at me and they're like, what is this crazy person asking? Yeah. So he's like telling them, oh, we've got this. Did you have
the actual drivers of those race cars? Or
yes, and they were all racing the next day. Like, I'm still completely surprised they allowed this to happen.
This was shot on like the practice or quali day
so it's
of
Wednesday.
There's like fans there and stuff.
Yeah, well, I know there was, but like I figured some people would just show up if they said fucking Travis Pastrana is shooting some crazy shit here.
So the race is on Saturday. They've got practice is on Thursday. This was the track walk on Wednesday. Oh, okay. So like we were actually having to stop to let drivers walk through set as we were filming, because they're like walking the corners. But it's pretty funny. I thought they'd give us the back of the pack. They gave us the front of the pack. They gave us the guy who won Bathurst was there with us for the scenes.
What was your shoot? Did they say, hey, you have an hour or you have 6 hours?
Yes, we started at 6 in the morning, but the sun didn't come up till like almost 7:30, and then we were wrapped by I think like 1 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And we shot 4 or 5 different setups, and one of the setups actually didn't get used. And Travis talks about it in a piece we did with Hoonigan, but basically Travis was hesitating and like was not committing, and I could tell that he like couldn't get his head around it, and usually when I see that with the driver, it's best to just walk away.
Wow.
Folks, one more break from the action, because Brooklyn Bedding is here, giving you that high-end mattress experience without the sky-high price tag. They sent me a mattress, and oh boy, is this thing comfortable. It was easy to install. It came in a box. And I was like, there can't be a mattress in there. But I put it on my empty box spring thing, and it took like a half a day to like fill out, and there it was. And boy, was this thing amazing. I love it. I sleep great. I got like 3 cats that sleep with me. They all love it. It looks great, and it didn't cost a fortune. Brooklyn Bedding's got high-quality materials to last a lifetime, so it's like my bed got a first-class upgrade without the first-class price. Brooklyn Bedding, did you know this, handcrafts every single mattress in their Arizona factory, so there's no middlemen or gimmicks, just top-tier quality, honest pricing, and real American craftsmanship for a better night's sleep. Because one size doesn't fit all when it comes to sleeping. That's why they have like half a dozen mattresses for every type of body and every type of sleep style, even hard to find sizes. You can take the Brooklyn Bedding sleep quiz and find your perfect match in under 2 minutes. If you sleep hot, Brooklyn Bedding uses Glaciotex covers and Copper Flex foam to help keep you cool and comfortable all night long. Brooklyn Bedding is one of the few brands endorsed by the American Chiropractic Association for spinal alignment and back health. Plus, they are fiberglass free for peace of mind. You've got a 120-night, that's like 3 months comfort trial. 4 months almost. Comfort trial. Love it, or they'll help you return it or swap it hassle-free. And Brooklyn Bedding has been awarded the best mattress by CNET and best hybrid mattress by Wirecutter, so you know it's the real deal. Get one for yourself, folks. BrooklynBedding.com. Use promo code TIRE at checkout to get 30% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. That's BrooklynBedding.com. Promo code TIRE for 30% off site-wide. Support the show and let them know we sent you after checkout. That's brooklynbedding.com. Promo code TIRE. And support is coming in today from Car Gurus. Listen, I have had great experiences and I have had some terrible experiences looking to purchase cars. In this very show, I'm talking about a guy who tried to sell me a 6-cylinder car, telling me it was an 8-cylinder car. That's crazy. That's such a headache. I've had trade-ins hose me out. I've had people lie to me. I need a low-stress approach to buying a car. And that's why Car Gurus is here supporting this show today. They make it so simple to find the right car at the right price, providing everything up front, from deal ratings to real-time price changes, complete vehicle history, everything. Because your big deal should feel like the best deal. Car Guru sends you alerts for new listings and price drops on the cars you're looking at. So all you do is you go to Car Gurus, right? Go to cargurus.com and put in the make, model, year range that you're looking for. And when these pop up, they let you know. And then when you're ready, Car Gurus connects you with dealerships you can trust. So the process feels clear, simple, and stress-free. Car Gurus has the biggest selection out there with more than 4 million listings. That's more than any other major online automotive marketplace in the U.S., so you can always find the best deal. Car Gurus puts you in the driver's seat, literally and figuratively, with the tools, information, and data-driven deal ratings that let you shop your way. It's no wonder that SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows that Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. Don't get messed around here. Go to Car Gurus, buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. And now, back to the show.
Because, Travis doesn't hesitate.
Yeah. Right, I've never heard that sentence before.
And he was actually trying to reenact a crash that had happened there, and then crashed doing it.
Seriously?
Yeah, but it was a light crash, but it was one of those if this goes bad another time, it may screw up the rest of the day. So I had to do the "we're moving on, Travis," kind of thing. So that ended up getting cut from the film. But no, the rest of it was amazing, and all just in general, Australians. It's interesting because if you ask them, they'll tell you that they live in a nanny state because there's a lot of rules and everything. But they all have just chaos in their hearts. These people, just anyone. It doesn't matter who it is. The lady making you coffee. They just want to see rad stuff. That's where they're at in life.
Yeah.
And everybody at Super Cars.
It's because of it's a nanny state, but is it that? It's not that much of an. It's just car wise.
Car wise,
they've got
a lot of controls. I mean, we tried to go film there 9 years ago. They shut us down. They shut Fast and Furious down. They didn't want practical stunts on the street. They definitely seem to have a lot of rules. And but at the same time, they all want to see chaos. At the end of the day, there's a little bit of Mad Max living in everyone.
Right. They're still prisoners at heart.
Yeah. And it's great. But I was, we reached out to Supercar with an idea. Actually, the original idea was to film in Gold Coast. They said, why don't you come to Bathurst? We didn't even think that was a possibility because of the schedule. We're like, well, you guys are racing the week we need to film. They're like, yeah, we'll make it work. Nathan over there, who runs broadcast, was like, just let us do whatever we wanted, gave us all the great drivers. And then I also thought that the drivers were going to be timid. I don't want to crash. Nope. They were all just full send.
It was one of the greatest moments I've seen in all the Gymkhanas. Like, I watched the whole thing twice.
And it felt unexpected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I watched it, and after the second time I paused, and that's when I texted you, because I was watching it again, and I just saw it come onto the track, or saw Travis come onto the track, and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
It's also one of those things where the cameras, the cameras do it justice, but it also was so good on its own. Like, sometimes there's scenes that the cameras help the scene and make it look better. But if you look at the leaks that have come out from just regular, spectators there, it's just as amazing to watch, because you're like, that car just drove through smoke as if it was no thing. It looked completely choreographed. If it was one of those things, like, if we tried to do this for a movie, it would have taken 5 days of prep work to get everyone on their timing. Travis just looked at everybody and said, you guys, we're all race car drivers. We all know how to do this. Let's just not hit each other and keep it as close as possible. And they all were like, okay, let's go. Like, that was it. That was the pep talk. I wish I could say, like, we had this whole thing plotted and GPS and all. Nope, just send it.
Can we let's play this, or not? We can't stream it. Go fucking. Is this the first shot? Is this right where he comes onto the track?
This is pretty much the moment.
This is the moment. If you're watching at home, let's just say, if you want to watch this at home, let's spool up Hoonigan Aussie Shred Gymkhana 2025 to, what is that, 3 minutes, 14 seconds. And in 3, 2, 1, action. We'll play from there. And here it just fucking rips into what looks like the parade lap of Bathurst. And full smoke. That's the shot, right?
Yeah, just the pop. Sick. The pop through the smoke was just like was everything. And then
the drag race. It felt so playful.
Yeah.
And, this was amazing. The 360.
The 360 through the pit road, or the escape road.
It was so steep, and
damn.
Like, you walk things like Laguna, and you're like, oh, this is really steep. I can't explain to you how steep the downhill section of the mountain is here. It is. It's kind of terrifying, and like, it was like hurting my knees to walk it. Like, that's, you're like, partly my age, but it was one of those things where, like, this doesn't come across when you watch it on television.
And it's long.
It's long.
It's much longer than the downhill at Laguna too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not even comparable. I mean, downhill is one turn. This goes on forever. Like, you're just downhill.
That's true. It's
downhill.
like a kilometer downhill, right?
Yeah. I don't know the exact specs on it, but it is longer than it should be. There's tracks that make me afraid to drive fast on, like Nürburgring's one of them. This is definitely one of them. I do not like driving fast downhill.
This is one of my favorite.
Because it's like you're on the
tracks
brakes the whole time. You're not like hill climb is great because you throttle the whole way. Like, you're any second from losing it. Yeah, you play it on the sim.
On the sim, it's fun.
It does not translate.
But even on sim, this has always been my least favorite section of any track on any video game, because it's downhill and it's tight, and the radius has changed a lot, and you can just fuck it up.
It's steeper than you think. The walls are way closer than you think. It's way narrower than you think. There is no runoff whatsoever. There's about 2 feet of grass that basically gets you just a little bit faster before you hit the wall. Right? It's a little extra. It's a little extra kick. It's blind in so many places, and you talk to the drivers, and because there's such like kind of crazy crests, like, you don't see, and then all of a sudden, like, you drop in. So like, a lot of their points of reference are like way off track, just like the tree is at Laguna, right? It's like you're finding reference points that aren't even on track to kind of figure out where you are, and it's amazing. And Travis was actually scared to throw this 360. He's like, I don't think it's going to work. Like, it's just too steep. Because when I say scared, like, I don't know if there's like real fear in that man's like vocabulary, but he was afraid, is this actually going to work because of just, the steepness of it all.
Can you not make a 360 work on a downhill? It's math I've never considered before, to be honest with you.
So typically, like with an all-wheel drive car, you need throttle to keep it sliding, right? Because the minute you come off throttle, you're now in a situation where now the tires are doing their job and they're trying to slow you down, and you're usually sideways. So throttle is what does everything, but how much throttle can you be on going downhill that fast? So like getting it to rotate, all your control is under throttle. So it's a mixture now of like throttle and sliding and brakes to get it to rotate. It's not the same as just kicking it into basically a moving. It's more than a moving donut, because a donut you stop in place, but it's, you know, a 360, you're throttle the whole time and you're driving yourself out in an all-wheel drive car. You can't really do that when you're going downhill and already approaching at high speed.
Yeah.
Wow. So, if you watch it in slow mo, you can see like brakes starting, stopping, wheels moving, like all that kind of stuff. So he figured it out. So
how many? Yeah, the first try.
And like this right here, this I think was we did one take without the cars, and then we moved them in. This is either first take or second take. And for me, the timing, like the goal was to get most of the cars past him by the end of the 360, and it worked out perfectly. And then he like not only connected with them again at the end, but he immediately throws it back into drift.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously this is the main quote unquote moment. It shows how steep the hill is. But my favorite part is this right here. Because he's like,
downhill drift entry.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to keep sliding and chasing you guys.
Keep it going.
Yeah, like he's immediately back in the race, which is kind of cool. And it's just one of those things, when this leaked, all of the comments in Australia were like, that's AI. That's AI. One, no one could do that. Two, you have an entire, no way a sanctioning body would allow you to do it. And it's like, man, I guess it's like, is that a high watermark where you make something so unbelievable that people are like, that's AI? I'm like, no, that shit actually happened.
Yeah. I think it is a pretty good high watermark.
The livery looked amazing. I mean, the colors in this, the landscape were just so awesome compared, like the cityscape ones you've done are also amazing, but it's a lot of grayscale, right? Yeah. And this with just grass and
a lot of
yellow
red.
leaves,
a lot of red, a lot of green,
and then
a lot of green.
The livery just popped because it was white, but with the red across it. It was so good.
And like stage rat, like like actually making a good bit about the stage rally sort of aspect was cool.
We never really did much off-road, right?
Yeah.
Like Gymkhana was the on-road version of what we did, and although the whole thing was inspired from rally, and when we went to go do this one, the Brat sort of inspired it. I didn't really love the concept of the Brat at first. I'm not a big
Brat guy.
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit. Bucky loves his Brat. I get it.
Fine.
It's cool.
People love El Caminos, all that. It's just,
I don't really
it's
give
whatever.
a shit. Yeah.
And fine, it's fine. But but Travis is a big Brat guy, and then he made his own Brat, which is like an LS powered Brat that he did in a film with Black Rifle, and that thing was cool, and it was like his thing. And then I'm like, we're gonna do another Brat. Like we should. I had all these other ideas of things I wanted to do. But, at the end of the day, it's what Travis wants to drive. So it's like, okay, if that's what you guys want to make. When I first saw it, I was like, all right, it's interesting, right? But then
is the Subaru powertrain in there?
Yeah. It revs to like 9,500.
That's crazy.
It's pretty
wild.
wild.
So they can actually make Subaru engines that like do things like that now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Vermont Sports Car. Yeah. So, no, the engine was actually, it didn't pop the whole time. It was pretty impressive.
Right, for a week.
But I think that once we saw the vehicle, it sort of inspired like what we should go do with it. And all of a sudden, like seeing this like kind of partial car truck out in the outback made a lot of sense. Like it all started to kind of connect, and it was like, okay, this feels like the right location for it. And when we were originally going to go shoot in San Diego, they told us no. So actually originally Puerto Rico, Hurricanes, then San Diego, no. And then we went back to Australia.
When you try for Puerto Rico, and then do you have to come up with a new concept and then present it to?
It's a big process.
So like, what was your failed Puerto Rico concept?
The only problem with Puerto Rico was that when the timing for the car to be finished was going to put us dead smack in hurricane season, and the contingency is just scary. I mean, it's actually pretty scary what happens in Puerto Rico during the hurricanes because they get completely cut off from everything.
Yeah,
you just take on way too much risk that. It could even not be a full hurricane, but you could have rain for an entire week, and there just wasn't enough budget contingency to say, let's go roll that dice.
No, but like, what was the shot where you were like, I want to see this car do fucking this in Puerto Rico that made you want to go there?
There was a building to building jump that like only would be allowed in Puerto Rico or places like Puerto Rico. Like, there's a certain element of Travis pushes the like the level so far with what he wants to do and what he's willing to do and where the ideas go that we just really can't operate inside of like the U.S. liability, right? Puerto Rico's a territory, but
you should. I mean, you could put that on this. Listen, we wouldn't be allowed to do this in America.
Travis is too brave for the United States.
Yeah. It just became one of those. It was really difficult to do stuff, and
like Elon says it, but he's lying. Like you could actually be. Yeah. You could be right.
Well, we learned this on the BJ Baldwin videos, and it's not just what they're allowed to do; it's the type of stuff. Like if we had a supermarket that had, the parking lot fall 15 feet, there would be a railing. Yeah. Not so in Mexico. No, which means if you need a big drop-off jump, it's just there. So a lot of this stuff is a little bit more natural.
That's so funny.
Natural terrain.
Yeah, because there's less concern about safety rules in other places than the U.S. I mean, the U.S. is one of the worst when it comes to our level of liability because of lawsuits and everything. So even Europe is more open than that. So I think right now, the last bastions of being able to do really crazy stuff on films is probably South America and Eastern Europe, but there was a war in Eastern Europe, so I was like, I guess we'll go look somewhere else. And then surprisingly, Australia came.
Yeah. So but in between was San Diego. Did you want to do a military base?
No, I wanted to shoot in the streets of San Diego because San Diego is the closest topography to San Francisco, and San Francisco is the best film we ever made, right, with Ken, and both Travis and I wanted to play some level of homage to that, right? That was the film.
Jump drifts. You essentially wanted jump drifts.
You want to jump drift, and that's something that we haven't been able to really recreate. And that, I think, is the film that it was the first film Travis was in. He was in as a cameo with Ken. But to Travis, that was the film where he was like, holy shit. And I think it was for everybody. But Travis loves the danger, and that really had danger. 1, 2, 3, and 4 didn't have danger. Watching Ken just throw the car absolutely sideways midair or do that huge jump in Vallejo felt more dangerous. So that was this thing that we wanted to go do. We found some corners that if you would do a split screen, it would feel like it was the same road. I mean, it was amazing how much the topography there matched sort of San Francisco and had a similar kind of vibe to it. You could see the water from it. We had a lot of support from the tourism board. They were really excited about it. We really thought we were going there. And unfortunately, as they ruin everything, takeovers ruined that. And they were very honest, and they said, listen, we totally understand what you guys do is not takeovers. We understand that, that historically Hoonigan and the Gymkhana series has been anti-anything illegal, right? I mean, Hoonigan probably did less illegal shit than you guys do. Because we never did anything on the streets that could be considered illegal. We wouldn't drive fast and show it because we knew that we were under scrutiny because of what we were doing everywhere else, right?
Yeah, you did grimy shit on your own fucking
parking lots and shit. Yeah, exactly.
Respect.
And then everything else was roads closed. Yeah. I was way more illegal at 0 to 60 than I was at Hoonigan because at 0 to 60 you're like, I'm test driving this car. I guess I'll hit 160 on Lincoln.
The most illegal things are done by magazine people.
Well, 100%.
By fucking 100%. Far. Way 100%. Worse than anything we do in the canyons on a regular day.
Oh, yeah.
On a fucking motorcycle press launch.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Have you ever? Oh my! No.
I'm not that good of a bike rider anymore.
Not. Everyone thinks they're on the Isle of Man fucking TT. It's crazy.
I remember I was on a press launch with. Remember John Guzik? Mm-hmm. I don't want to blast John on this, but John didn't really enjoy driving.
I don't think he likes driving at all.
No. So John would always let me get his driving time.
Yeah.
So I would always partner with John because it meant I got his track time, and he would just ride with me.
It's actually a pretty good strategy.
He used to say, he would say, look, I'll do 1 lap or 2, but then I'd rather ride with you, and then you can give me your feedback, and that works as well. Mm-hmm. So I would always drive with him. But I remember me and him were in Big Sur once, and I look back at it, and it's straight to jail. Straight to jail. Yeah. I think it was the M. Was the BMW 1 Series M, whatever that, when that came out or whatever.
The orange one.
I don't even remember, but it was just full, just absolute no care. And then I go and start this company that is looked at as these guys, and we did nothing but follow the law and rule break. But anyway, and follow the rules and not break them.
By the way, if 31-year-old me was on the 1 Series M launch in fucking Big Sur, I would be doing absolute criminal things in a car like that.
Yeah, it was
100%.
It was fantastic.
I'm with you.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, one day we should do a pod just on all of once the statute of limitation.
Because I got actually be funny.
7 to 20
statute of okay. Hannah came up with a name for a podcast that I'm going to say out loud right now on December 15th.
Buy the URL right now before
Buy
someone
the
else
URL.
and also sit on the Instagram.
It's all right. It's Vehicular Man's Laughter. Which is a pretty fucking awesome name for a
It's a Naked Gun joke also.
It's a Naked Gun joke.
Yeah,
Is it? Yeah.
Okay,
But
I'm
it's pretty
sorry.
funny. Yeah.
Shit, is it from the old Naked Gun?
No, it's from the new
one.
one.
Oh, I
out.
didn't see the new one. Oh,
Like, they got you on
hilarious.
They got you on Man's Laughter. He's like, manslaughter. And Liam Neeson's like,
He's like, there's no joke, son, or something like that. It's a great movie.
That's pretty funny. I got to see that. All right. Well, maybe she stole it from that. But either way,
It's okay.
Vehicular Man's Laughter is a good name for a podcast.
Yes.
I mean, it's okay. I guess I'm coming after you guys. My
The
pod. Now
statute
you
of
name a pod
limitations
close
is
to
a
my
fucking
pod. It's
better
fine.
name.
So
What if there was a podcast where you publish on your website the statutes of limitations of all these crimes, and you're like, if this recently expired for you, come on
on
podcast
in and we'll talk about it.
and we'll talk about your crime.
There's obviously got to be
good
things
idea.
like I don't want on the list.
No, but like
there's certain things like you're like whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
but otherwise,
Prince Andrew shows up. You're like, back up.
Or you could have that, but then you could have a crew in the parking lot that takes care of it, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a different show.
Chris Hansen's in the parking lot waiting for the second show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
but that's a pretty good show.
Yeah, it's
Not
that
bad.
Who's Gone Wild all together in one. So, Food Protect the World.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know where we're at with that, but
No, you were. Yeah, you
statute
couldn't do it in
of
San Diego.
limitations. But we couldn't do San Diego because of and what they said to us, and I totally get it. It's like they're like, we know what you make is a film, but it's hard for us to, as we're having a really difficult time trying to stop takeovers. It's hard for us to then allow something that someone could misconstrue as connection, even though we know you guys aren't. We know that you're very publicly anti that, but unfortunately, there's just people who don't want to sign off on it, and that has become increasingly more of a problem in the U.S. Not anywhere else, because takeovers seem to be, unfortunately, an American problem. It seems way bigger here than it is everywhere else. So
Wow.
I imagine. Do you guys talk about this? Is takeovers a conversation that comes up much, or do you feel like your audience doesn't pay?
I mean,
much
our
attention
audience
to
is
it?
in general not about it, but they don't bring them
know
up. They
anyone
don't
who's
bring them
about
up
it.
that much.
I don't
think
know.
our
I
audience
don't
is
know
too old,
anyone.
basically. Like, I think they're just, we skew slightly more responsible because our
of
audience
course.
is like average 35, and they're just not going to put themselves at risk for that.
So I don't think I mean that. What I mean more is like the problem of takeovers. Is that a subject you guys talk about? Is that something that's come up? Because
Not a
Not
lot.
really. No.
is it something that you guys see in your purview, or is it something that seems like outside of this? Like, are you guys more concerned with the fact that every week someone crashes on ACH?
that, correct.
That's more like
Right.
lands in our lap.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, also a problem.
100%. I'll be honest, I don't really like. I haven't been up in years, but like I don't want to go to ACH because I feel like it's become such a risk of someone crossing the line while you're up there. Where like a lot of places that I go that I won't mention, there's no one there.
Yeah.
And
Well-
it's like I enjoy driving at the speed I feel comfortable at, and not having like some guy in a brand new GT3 come across the line or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
For sure. I go up there at early weekday mornings, and I'm like way up there.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself, and that's for a reason. But the other day, 2 days ago, I was filming the Ferrari 12C. Not bad. And I'm going up there, and I'm on Angeles Forest Highway, which is the commuter road from Palmdale. Now, while I'm 100% with you about the fear of someone driving like an asshole in their supercar and crossing the double yellow, I almost got head-on by a fucking some kind of economy car that was like four different colors trying to make a fucking double yellow pass full on. And I it was far enough away that I I'm in a Ferrari. I basically almost came to a stop and like put two wheels kind of in the dirt where it was safe. And the guy ducked back in time because he realized like I'm about to die. But like that, I've had that happen a lot more often.
I guess let me clarify my ACH thing. It's more like, especially for good vibes, there's just so many people on the road at the same time that one, I think you up your like chances of something bad
on Fridays,
happen,
sure.
Right. Second, I think that there's also an element, and this is my own, is like I'm a pretty moderate driver in canyons when I'm by myself. when other people are there, I speed up.
Sure.
Because you're like, oh, there's the excitement, like someone's behind me or something's like that. You have a little pressure, and like all of a sudden you like start to kind of lose frame of reference of like, I'm here to just go do
If I don't know the other person, like I point by people all the time. Like I drove this old 911 up there a week ago, and I feel the same concern you do. I go to Good Vibes like once every 2-3 months, and I'm nervous on the way up and down because is someone going to cross over, whether they're commuting or it's someone who's just trying to get their Instagram views. And every time I come down, like I text my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm back down. She's like, thank you, because she gets nervous every time I go up there. But I think I've seen groups of cars that start just ripping together, and two of the cars are very capable of the speeds they're doing, and there's always like a third or fourth that's not as good, doesn't have the tires or whatever, or the driver, and that's the person that you have to worry about. It's the person who's trying to keep up with their friends and has a problem.
I'm also like old now. I think I've just slowed down. Because like back in the day, man, Malibu, like when I first moved here, I would take the 911 up there by myself at night and just run. Or like when I was a journalist and living in New York, like we'd come here, like, oh my God, we have good roads. I don't have to just drive the one loop at Harriman.
Bear Mountain, baby.
Yeah.
And like 7 Lakes Drive.
The same cop who sees me there every week in a different car.
Funny.
That's the big challenge is like, I think I talked to, I think Jalopnik interviewed me about this, but like, how do we solve this problem? And it's so hard when you cross over into like 35, 40, you get more responsible, you worry about risk more, but how do you explain that to kids who are 25 just into cars and they're doing the same mistakes we made, Yeah.
I mean, so to go back to the takeover things is interesting as to like where the Venn diagram is of it. It's something I'm very well aware of because I've watched it sort of shut down a lot of opportunities, a lot of things. It's something that I don't know a single person who participates or has participated in it, other than like back in the day, guys who did sideshows up in like San Francisco, like Oakland area when it was like early. And that was more because I was interviewing them when I was at Rides Magazine, right? But it was like, I don't know anyone who's a part of that culture. But the culture has become, unfortunately, synonymous with other parts of car culture and I don't actually like, I'll watch the videos. I'm like, none of those cars are modified. Most of those guys don't seem like they really know what they're doing. It doesn't seem like part of the culture. A lot of the cars according to my friend who works in auto crimes, is like most of the cars were stolen. So it's not but to the police and to everyone else, it's like, oh, it's all the same. So it's like quota filling is like, we pulled over a modified car, and that's us cracking down on takeovers. And it's like two different sides of the culture.
Sure.
So I don't know. I was wondering if it's like something that's risen to you guys.
It's like grabbing people at Home Depot and saying you're going after the gang members. Like it's just
you're checking a box.
You're checking a box.
You're checking a box, and I think that is a big issue that we're facing right now in Southern California, because I have a lot of friends who work on the force, and they all tell me like, man, all these crackdown is coming from that, because like it's too dangerous to deal with the takeovers. You have hundreds and hundreds of kids. So unless it's like a task force planned where they've got 30 cars they can bring in, but then it's like, why actually put that much police after it? Because the one thing that's surprising is less people die there than you probably think. So it does. So it's like, it's this weird, like it's a nuisance, and there's a lot of people who get hurt, but it's not actually reported. So they don't have like the data that connects to it. So you have this situation where it's like, it takes a huge force to stop it. But without that force, it actually becomes more dangerous. If a cop comes in, you now create like a riot situation.
Like one cop is worse than no cops, but but there's like a whole gap in between no cops and 40 cops where you just like and it just becomes a disaster.
When you were younger in New York, did you ever go to the street races? Like Hunts?
I did. I went to Hunts Point once, and I got embarrassed fucking real bad. My Mustang got just its ass handed to it
by like a .8 Corolla,
dude. A totally stock looking Eclipse, GSX that it turns out ran nines.
I think I know that kid.
Never went back, but it was it's a shades of gray.
But I bring that up because it was an interesting shift that I experienced when I was younger, which was the street racing was actually very sort of organized at one point, and the cops would come in, they would turn their lights on, no siren, everybody would casually walk back to their car and drive away.
We had things organized.
It was organized back then. It was a good time. And we would we would race in Queens, and then we would cross the border to Brooklyn. So now you're in a different jurisdiction. Those cops were happy. They'd go home. You'd race for an hour or two. Shift change would happen, so you'd get a little extra time.
It sounds like you're gatekeeping street crimes.
And then they would.
It sounds like you're. No, it sounds like you're like when we were doing street crimes.
I totally am.
It was just better.
I am.
These street crimes are worse than our street crimes.
I am 100% an old man going. In my day it was different. No, and I get that, but there was a moment where it shifted, and I don't want to blame the movie Fast and Furious, but Fast and Furious came out, and all of a sudden a different audience started coming to the street races, and then the cops would show up and everyone would get in their cars and crash into each other, leaving. Right? You're like, whoa, 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 whoa! Like, we don't need to do this.
No good.
And it made me, and it was like all of a sudden it got, and I will admit this, like the mayhem of it was kind of fun. Like I could see
mayhem is fun.
Being 19, 20 years old, like the attraction to this thing, but all the old heads stopped coming. And that which made it worse because the people who actually were, as you mentioned, the 35 and older crowd who's more responsible, stopped paying attention to it. They weren't a part of it.
They rolled their G-bodies back into their trailers. And
I remember because I went street racing in Santa Cruz for years. That was like what I did on the weekend. I didn't drink. But we had a place we went, and when the cops would show up, they would just drive by with the light on. Everyone would leave. But I remember, I can still remember the adrenaline I would have when we were just driving back to Santa Cruz, and you'd look in the rear view and see, 30 cars with their lights on, and you're like, we're all rolling together. We all have cool muscle cars, and it was just so exciting to be, part of that group and part of the scramble. But then, to your point, Fast and Furious came out, and all of a sudden the population going to those things, doubled or tripled. Yeah. And there were more accidents, and then everyone stopped going.
I mean, look, dude, for some reason, gumball is still societally acceptable. And statistically, those types of events, not to just purely single out gumball, but those types of events are just as dangerous.
Some of the worst crimes I've ever committed were on both gumball and the Bull Run route.
Are they accepted by society, or they just?
They're not, but they're not there isn't some fucking crackdown against them.
Yeah.
It's just.
I thought gumball, the original gumball rally, I thought was the coolest thing in the world when I was a kid.
Hell yeah!
There was nothing that seemed cooler. I mean, that's how I met Ken Block. Was I went and I did gumball.
The fucking
in 2005.
Mischief videos and fucking Jack. Was it? Did they go on Jack on gumball and CKY?
Jackass did it.
Was Jackass.
Yeah. Because Ryan Dunn did it. I think with Bam.
But was did CKY 2K? Did they go on it? Maybe
they dropped the clip in.
Yeah.
I don't think it was part of the whole.
But that shit was that was old. Yeah. And when I was watching that, I didn't. Hunts Point was my high school one time, and then me and Larry Casilla did Englishtown. We literally went to the drag show where the guy had a swastika on his hood. Cool. Yeah. And then it was Ocean Parkway roll racing to 200 miles an hour in 05 when everybody had V10 BMWs.
Yep.
And it was 150 to 200 fucking roll racing to that Cars and Coffee out at the end of the fucking point.
I remember there was a exotics run that they used to do in that area.
Yeah.
I think you went on them. And I used to always get an Evo from Mitsubishi at the time because Evos at that time could smoke a lot of brand new exotics. And eventually they banned Evos from going to that event. I'd always call Mo at Mitsubishi and be like, hey, can I get an Evo this weekend? I want to go.
Would be like,
yeah, these Evos, these damn Evos. Meanwhile, I could have got a Lamborghini, but instead I was like, nah, I want to bring an Evo to this.
If you have 15 minutes to live in a racetrack, you want an Evo 9.
100%. It is a fantastic car. The best, at doing that. It's really bad at everything else.
Yeah. If you like being able to hear and have a conversation with your people in the car.
Yeah, if you want to have a car from the 2000s with a dash from the 1980s, buy an Evo. So.
But fucking, Bathurst was the shit, just to finish that off. And that thing is awesome. It's on Hoonigan's YouTube channel, right?
Yeah,
is that where it is?
Yeah. I think it's on Hoonigan, Subaru, and Channel 199 because you can collab YouTube videos now, which is interesting. Yeah. So lives across all three. So
it's sick. When that shot of him pulling into the race and that's just fucking amazing.
It's one of those things you draw it out in your head and you're like, that should be cool.
Yeah.
And usually it's not as cool as you thought, and that was 3 times cooler than I thought it was going to be. It was just so perfect. The timing was so perfect. All of it was great. And I think for me it's probably a top moment in the film just because it feels different.
Yeah.
So
it does.
Yeah. It's definitely a milestone. It's that. the canyon jump, just because it's so kind of crazy and dangerous feeling. The driving over water.
Although the canyon is so deep that jumping the road train doesn't really matter. The road train is fucking way down here, and the canyon's like 3 times the height of the train.
I'll tell you, I have a fascination with road trains. I just think
they're really cool.
because
they're fucking sick.
So I just wanted to include a road train.
Just to have.
So it was like, just wanted to be there.
Okay.
But it helped understand the height. It gives you like, the road train looked small.
Yeah.
Which I think helps you sort of understand how big it is. Otherwise, you have like a lack of scale. Right, for how big the jump was and how big the consequences are for it. So, and then
I wonder if you could jump a road train the long way.
Of course, I mean you could jump anything.
Sure,
Yeah.
It's just physics.
But that would,
Call it Tanner Faust.
Yeah,
A couple hundred feet.
Yeah, I mean, we had a whole other concept, which was to build a rail slide on top of the road train. So Travis would like jump to the rail, and then the train would be countering, him, and he would slide through it.
Super sick. Yeah,
but it was just way outside of budget. Like you'd be surprised how much metal that is to like make all of that and figure it all out
to support the weight of a car. Yeah.
So I think it's one of those ones where even though Travis is now like this was his last film, he doesn't want to do it anymore. We're like, it'd be cool to go make that at some point, even if it's just like a standalone.
Did you see that fucking kid YouTuber who built that truck that was like the Mad Max truck that can just like fucking drive through everything?
Oh, Weston Champlin?
Weston. Yeah. It has that big like
so
cone
good.
on the front of it.
It's great too because it feels like an episode of Mythbusters.
Oh my
I
god,
love it.
that shit is crazy.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of YouTube, but I saw that I was like, that clip of him just driving through an increasing succession of like hard things. Oh, it looked brutal. That was rad. Yeah,
I don't know who has time to watch all the stuff that's on YouTube. There's like so much
a good
out
question.
there. Yeah, so much out there. It's always amazing when I run into people and they'll just give me all these updates on what my friends are doing.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, that's cool. So Vinny bought another car. Weird. I'm in a group chat with him. He didn't mention it to me, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah, right. What did he just get?
He's got a E30 M3.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, he did tell us about that because I think he was like pretty stoked. But sometimes like Vin buys things that he knows are only going to be around for a little bit. So it's like he doesn't even mention it. You're like, wait, you got that? Whatever.
My NSX, because this is going to go up on Thursday, my NSX is going up for sale on Cars and Bids. So
nice.
go fucking bid on it, please, if you want it. It's like
what's the spec on that one?
05, silver black.
Okay.
It was the one right downstairs. It's 20,000.
I don't fit in NSXs,
You do not fit.
No.
20,000 miles.
Wow.
Fresh, brand new tires, fresh service, full PPF. It's money. It's fucking money. Absolutely.
What are your cars right now? What are you enjoying at the moment?
The Manx.
That's your thing.
The Manx is the best. And I spoke to
Do you think I'd fit in the Manx?
Yeah.
I've always liked those.
I spoke to Ferdy yesterday, been accepted into Ice Race.
Congratulations.
I spoke to Manx. They have room on their transporter. But also, I basically have to send in the car to get prepped. So I'm going to have to buy another set of tires that they're going to hand stud. I don't want to know how much that costs, but it's going to be.
I've had to do that. When we did Sweden, Toyo doesn't make a studded tire for what we needed.
Sure.
So we built like an R888, but with studs.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. So it's like WRC spec studs.
How much was it?
I mean, money was no object at that point. I mean, it's like thousands per wheel. Like you get to a point where you're just like,
it can't be thousands per wheel.
But
that's crazy.
But we were doing something extremely bespoke.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you can probably.
They
didn't allow studs last year, right? This is new.
Well, so last year they were in Aspen,
right?
And it was on wherever it was. The snow was like kind of shitty, which is why they're not doing it there again. Now it's in Montana.
Yeah.
So they have better surface, and they are allowing studs.
Yeah, I convinced Ashley that it's going to be a family trip to go this year because my son, he lives in Southern California, so he has like no concept of snow. So she's like, I really want to do a snow trip. And I'm like, I got this perfect event where skiers get dragged behind 9/11.
Hell yeah.
So I think my son will love this.
Yeah. Are you going to bring a car?
I'm going to come with Batim, so hopefully I can drive something that he brings out.
Yeah.
So the problem I always have though is I show up to things like that and people are like, yeah, jump in. Like, I'm 6'8". I don't fit in your race car.
Shit. Yeah, that's a problem.
The amount of cars I haven't been able to drive in my life because I don't fit.
That sucks. That's a bummer.
Yeah. It's not something like the tall thing is like rad for like a certain number of years and then it just like wasn't worth it anymore.
I'm right on the line of being able to fit in stuff. So I can fit kind of.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2.5",
Yeah,
3".
yeah,
It's
yeah.
right on the line.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of stuff got to
yeah.
take shoes off, whatever.
I
but-
heard that before. 6'2" is the shortest tall person.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm the thinnest fat person and the
Right,
shortest
yeah, this
tall
looks-
person.
You look good, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My new proper cloth shirt,
Is that what it is?
tailored.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're a sponsor.
Tailored clothes is like a whole
They're a
other
sponsor.
level.
They tailor this shit on the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good. It's
pretty good.
I'm into it. Yeah, very nice. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I tailored clothes. I only have like 2 things I've tailored in my entire life, and you're like, yeah, this is how real
Dude,
adults
the
would
secret
dress.
to looking like a celebrity is to have everything tailored.
Yeah.
Like your sweatshirts,
I
your
know.
fucking t-shirt, everything. Like just factor in an extra $15 per garment to have everything tailored, and you will look like a fucking $1 million. It's not simple, not easy. Gotta
Yeah,
commit,
yeah.
but you could do it.
Yeah. No, I had, because I have really long arms, because I'm so tall, so I have a 39.5-inch arm, so nothing off the shelf fits, right? So, and you'll see, like, I'm always, like, it's definitely something I'm, like, aware of, like, my wrist's always showing.
Cover it up with a roll-up sleeve. You
I
got the
actually think
roll-up
it's
sleeve?
one of the reasons I don't wear a watch, because it becomes something that, like, even more exaggerates
Sure.
it, But then I got a bunch of shirts tailored when I got married, and I'm like, I wish everything fit me like this.
Yeah, it's really
but
nice.
I've got too many cars to take care of to tailor my own clothes.
So you sell one car, and that will pay for your tailoring for like 5 years.
yeah, no, I can't.
Which
do
car
it.
would you sell any of them?
I've
right
actually
now?
just sold. I just sold 2.
What did you sell?
So I had an Audi 4000 that I bought in Vancouver and drove down. I bought it during the pandemic. I think I talked about it last time I was on the
I
show.
remember, yeah.
Bought it, and it was super fun, but it served its purpose. Like, its purpose was
purpose
that road,
was that
road
adventure.
trip.
Yeah.
And then I sold it to a couple who just recently drove it from my farm in Fallbrook all the way out to Pennsylvania.
Nice.
And, like, it got no extra service from the time I drove it down and fixed it to them leaving. I'm like, good luck. And they got out there with no problems.
Cool.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Unfortunately, they got pulled over like 8 blocks from their house. So
No tags?
No tags, yeah.
They made it
'cause
all the way?
Yeah, they made it all the way, which is pretty impressive.
I hope
so.
the cop let them get the rest of the way home.
I don't
that
think
would
so.
be
I think they ticketed
no.
him. Yeah, it was just kind of a
that
bummer.
would be.
But yeah, and then I had a Audi A1.
Oh,
Which is
little hatchback.
yeah, they never sold them here.
Yeah. Did you buy that on your Euro carcade trip?
No, I bought it from someone in Utah, and it somehow had a Utah title. So
All right.
yeah,
They're not that interesting. They're interesting for 5 minutes, right?
I was working when I left and was working at Super Plastic. I was working in downtown LA, and I was parking in an area that I would walk out and be like, I'm surprised no one broke the window on my RS2. And I realized maybe street parking in RS2 in downtown LA wasn't a good idea. So I bought
I think you
this.
could hide in plain sight in an RS2.
You can, but
okay.
But they'll break into anything in downtown LA. So I was like, yeah, I'll get that. So I got that, and I actually really liked it. It's like a Mark III. It's like a Mark III Golf in terms of the way it drives and feels, but it has just the right new tech. Because I don't like new cars.
Yeah.
I just can't get into new cars. But it has Bluetooth audio, which I think is super important, and it has Hill Assist, which I've learned to enjoy.
Yeah,
I
it's
trashed
helpful.
Hill Assist the first time I ever reviewed it because I'm like, who needs this?
Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice.
Hill Assist is nice.
It's not bad. It makes driving a manual in traffic.
Is it a
in hilly area.
1.8?
It's a 1.4 turbo. So it makes cool turbo noises. It wasn't really quick, but it was sporty. It was kind of fun. It was easy to park. So, but I sold it the minute I looked at trying to buy coilovers for it because I was like, this. It no longer serves its purpose. Like it's crossing into a world.
Yeah, someone makes a downpipe for this thing.
Yeah.
I
The
don't know
minute
that.
I'm sitting there looking at like 1.4 upgrades, and then I'm like, this is not.
1.4 upgrades.
Yeah,
No,
when I have
it's
all
gotta-
these other projects that don't. So I got rid of that. Got rid of the 4000. Bought a Vanagon,
Nice.
which I almost brought here today, but brought a Vanagon.
Is it a camper or is it like a van, like
It's
a
the
minivan one?
It's actually the Carrot, but it's like the Weekender where it doesn't have a pop top, but it's got the rear facing seats.
Oh, nice.
And with a kid, it's great because like he could sit in the back, like eat dinner, like Ash could be in the back with him. I don't know. And it's also an oddly good mobile office,
Yeah,
which
I
is
bet.
nice. So like
Does
if
it have a table?
yeah, it has a table in it. So, like, let's say I had a conference call after this, like, the parts of our lives that we don't enjoy. I could just be like, all right, I'll just get out, go find a quiet place to park and work on it. So like,
is it this one, the Weekender?
I mean, it's like
no, so mine doesn't have the pop top, but
what year is it?
I thought you
90.
said
It's a 1990 Vanagon Carrot.
But you have these seats?
Yeah, it's that
It's like
type.
that?
It's that
okay,
interior.
so it's got the conference table interior.
Yeah, it's the conference table. So
And then what's behind that third row? Is that a hard
I don't have that. Mine's just an open space. I think that's a closet in that one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
But
That's
yeah,
pretty
they come in
sweet, though.
different
That would
setups.
be a good mobile office.
Yeah, it's not bad, and I enjoy it. It has. I realize that I'm aging at a rapid rate right now because just a few years ago I was trying to build 1,000 horsepower cars.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to explain that how the gearing in a Vanagon actually makes the 2.1 Vasa Boxer an acceptable amount of power at a measly 90 horsepower. I'm like, it works. I can get up hills. Like, it's not that bad. Why do you have to go so fast?
Technically, you'll get.
Dude,
Why so fast?
Why
Such
so
a rush.
fast?
We've had this Delica. Same
Yeah,
thing, same
yeah.
thing, right? For 5-6 years now. And it is the fucking best. And part of it is you are forced to just like go this speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't be in a rush. I can't drive like a dick. Like, this is the speed I go.
Yeah.
And like, it's fine up till about 65.
Yeah.
And
The
yeah.
405 looks so much different from the right lane. There's
really-
I've seen things I've never seen before,
Totally.
including an entire encampment.
That's really fucking funny. Yeah, it does. And ours doesn't have a built-in table, but we have the facing seats, and so we have a little folding table that
great.
does basically the same thing.
Facing seats, like, why doesn't that exist more in new
Probably
cars?
crash tested.
Does like the
Crash
Kia
testing.
Carnival have it or something? I think it has like the move. I don't know. I'm not like
I just
don't-
rented a Carnival. I don't think they swivel like that though.
I just think that, but crash testing doesn't make sense either because like being backwards in a car is actually probably safer.
Well, I think if you got rear-ended, it might be worse. But if you
but
you
the
crash,
percentage of
I don't know.
like fatal rears are like rear end is you're usually moving. Unless you're at a dead stop, but even then it's whatever the impact. But usually if you're moving at whatever speed someone else hits you, it's the reduction of those two.
I agree. I
Where
wonder
like
if
a head-on collision is the most dangerous.
I wonder if there's
Actually,
a frequency,
T-bone
though.
is the most.
T-bone is definitely the
Yeah,
most.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know why they don't have rear-facing seats anymore.
I don't know. They were great. They were great. I mean, remember as a kid, like
I liked the wagon.
yeah,
the
like
740
the Volvos
wagon.
and
Hell
you're
yeah.
just like a kid with your. I mean, that I could see being in a rear end accident being really bad because your feet are in the crumple zone. So
That's the Porsche 917 crumple zones of station wagons.
it's wild having a child now because I think about safety in my cars in a way that I never did before. Right? Like
Yeah.
I won't.
I'll
Take,
survive this crash, but not him.
yeah, or it's like. I might not survive this crash, but I've made that decision by driving this car, right? Like I knew that getting into
I
this.
went down having a good ass time.
Yeah, and it's like I won't get on the highway with him in my Rabbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like the A pillar is like made of like number 2 pencils, and like I don't even know they're Ticonderoga. Like that thing would just completely crush.
When I
So
drive the Manx around, it's, I'm outside.
the thing I like the most about the Manx is it doesn't seem like it should be illegal. Like that's why I want a Manx because I'm like this doesn't seem like it should be.
No,
allowed
it's
on the
shady,
road.
but it's great.
Yeah.
It's so fucking fun. Everything about it is fucking so awesome. It makes me so happy.
All right,
when the weather's
I need
nice.
to get to drive one.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, they'll let you borrow
what's
one
your
of those.
what's your like weather plan for Montana in the Manx? Like, are you got like a full like Arctic level
Yeah,
suit?
I'm basically just going to dress like I'm skiing.
Yeah, okay.
Right? It's not going to be like colder than when I'm skiing, right? Isn't that just...
you'll be going slower, probably.
Yeah.
Do you remember Matt Tasillo?
Yeah, of course.
So when we went and shot in Sweden, it was like minus 30.
Yeah.
Matt Tasillo was so afraid of the weather because he's just, big love to Matt Tasillo, but he's just like someone who is always anticipating disaster. Like his entire life is just this could go
It's an
wrong.
important role for people like that.
Yeah, and that was his job, right?
Yeah.
He was the managing editor at 060, and then he was sort of like he was the adult in the room, for Ken's team, and now he's over at Haggerty. But so now he has to deal
Insurance.
with Canisa.
He ends up in insurance, of
That's
course.
exactly where he belongs. But no, he's on the content side. But yeah. But Matt bought this onesie, like a North Face onesie, like the things you only wear this if you had to go to like Antarctica. And like, look, the rest of us would dress warm, but this guy would walk out and he looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, but it was all yellow, which was just insane. I think you need something like that.
Well, so for a long time for snowboarding, I had a onesie, and it was amazing.
Can I say something? You don't strike me as a snowboarder.
Oh, really?
Why. Yeah, I don't know why.
Because I'm very white.
I think it's the white side of you. You look like a skier.
I am now. Well, I started skiing when I was a kid. When I was 13, everybody switched to snowboarding.
Right.
Like all my friends and including me, we all switched. And then I went back to skiing when I was like 39 or 40. And I'm so
Where
happy.
did you snowboard? Where'd you go?
In New York?
Yeah.
We would go to mostly at Killington.
Okay.
Liked Killington a lot. And we would do Hunter Mountain and Wyndham for day trips. But Killington, I think, was the best of the East Coast mountains.
Yeah, it was good. Stowe was the best.
Stowe is the best snow, but Killington was the biggest.
The biggest mountain.
Yeah.
I was a snowboard instructor at Wyndham.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I taught snowboarding at Wyndham, and then I was like I went to University of Vermont, so I was a local at Stowe.
Oh,
so
cool.
I was like, I did 100 days between there and Sunday River.
Wow,
Yeah.
Sunday River. Everyone,
Yeah.
a bunch of my friends went to Gould Academy, which was at Sunday River in Maine, and they would ski the second half of the day in the winter. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's just about as cold as I've ever been skiing at Sunday River. It is cold.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to Lake Placid, the Whiteface?
Yeah.
They give you a blanket
That's
when you get
cold.
on.
And Whistler,
Yeah.
where we
Whistler
did
was
the
my
coldest
bachelor
I've ever
party
experienced.
in Whistler in February was fucking cold. But the skiing was incredible. Whistler was amazing.
I've actually have very limited West Coast riding in me. Like I've done a bunch with Ken, but it was like I was no longer a good snowboarder. Like I had this period of time where I was like really good, and then I don't know.
I'm not.
wasn't
Now
there anymore.
I just enjoy being out there and cruise.
Screamers.
But if we're going ice racing, let's fucking get a day.
If I can get a good knee brace, I'm down.
I ski with 2 knee braces on. I had a bad crash like 15 years ago, so I still ski with knee braces.
Yeah, I was just reckless as a kid, and every time my dad said to me, "You're going to feel that when you're older," I was like, "Whatever." Woke up one morning, I'm like, "Oh shit, this is what he was talking about."
Pretty much, but like my Manx has heated seats, so that's my plan, and I'm going to dress like I'm skiing, and I'm going to take the roof off. Mm-hmm. And they said they're going to prep it, but aside from tires, like I don't know what the fuck that means.
Is there a handbrake in that? You probably
There's
don't
not.
need one.
I mean, there's a parking brake. But
Yeah. Okay.
It's rear engine and rear
Yeah,
drive. It'll probably be
rear-wheel
okay.
drive. You'll be fine.
It'll probably be fine,
You'll
I
be
think.
fine.
I mean, and if it's like a complete mess, like who gives a shit? It's like it's silly. I have my Bentley sheepskin floor mats ready for winter.
I got it. I like it. Yeah, I don't know.
This might be a terrible idea. I don't know.
I think it's
It'd be so fun.
I didn't go last year. It looked like a lot of fun, but it did look like the driving was maybe not on the same tier that I'm used to seeing in like the European
This
events.
aims to fix that.
Yeah.
And Ali's going. His car. Do you know Ali Javidon, our buddy?
No, I don't.
Oh, he's the Range Energy guy, the hybrid truck. He also has this like sick BMW 2002 like race car. He's going, and he rented a house that we're getting in on, so it'll be fun as fuck.
I didn't get my shit together in time, but I'd wanted to try to submit to bring my Audi Coupe Quattro there, which would be cool because it's this close to running. It would give me a reason to finish it. Like 1,000 horsepower is a great place.
We
on
saw it
snow.
last week.
Yeah,
you saw the
we
BDI.
saw it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to get that done, but but Tim's going. It's just what is he bringing, and I'm trying to get him to bring
Your car would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Doesn't your car have an IROS engine in it too?
Yeah.
What was it? What was like the thing that kept it from working like 2 years ago when you walked away from this?
It's just
fucking
the clutch doesn't engage properly. And like,
how hard is that?
It's a weekend worth of work. So it's a weekend worth of work to get that done. But then it becomes the final 2% of a project, which is, just the teething of all the things. I mean, there's nothing on that car that hasn't been changed since it got taken apart. So like everything's going to break. So like everything's going to need to be developed. And this is the thing that no one tells you when you build YouTube cars is that you can get all the parts. You can find all the people to help you build it. You can weld it all together. You can make it look right. You can even get it to drive out of the parking lot, but then getting it to work as you intended is what takes a race team. Like that. And I should know this because I did this with a race team, working with WRC level cars, and just the amount of development it took to get a lot of, even the Hoonigan and things like that to work the way we wanted it to. I have now built a car that is so beyond my capability, not only as a driver, but also in terms of just like my ability to troubleshoot why things are working. So I'm just scared of it at this point. And just scared of like, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Can you make it drive like a normal ass car, or can it only drive
It's
like
full race
fucking
car now.
Hoonigan light?
It's like full race car now. It's like everything about it is on the level. It's like the minute I pulled the entire chassis harness out of the car, and I'm like, I'm going to rewire the whole thing and run a PDM in the car, which means like in order to, if I change my taillight, I have to plug a laptop in to tell it that I changed the taillight.
Cool.
Like,
Wow.
It's like, I don't know why I did this to myself. Yeah.
Taking things apart before you know how you're going to put them back together is that's a bad call.
Yeah, I'm really good at starting things.
Yeah.
I started the shit out of that project. It's the finishing part.
And you got it to SEMA. Like it was at it was at SEMA.
Yeah. And then I got the fire and all of that. I don't know if you saw the episode that I did with Vinny on it, but it was really funny because I just compared it to like this is what YouTube tells you to build, but at the end of the day, the RS2 is like such a better car because I get to drive it all the time.
It works.
Yeah, I compare it to I was like, this is what you see on Pornhub that like you never get to do, and like the RS2 is like it's like missionary maybe like reverse cowgirl. Like it's usable. It's very usable. It's not the most exciting thing you've ever seen in your life, but it's usable. So,
in this Instagram post though, it looks amazing.
It really does. It's a really good statue. I built a pretty good statue. I'm pretty stoked on it.
You should hang it on the fucking wall.
I hang it at BBI.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. So, and it's awesome because I don't have to pay storage because Tim doesn't seem to mind it there.
That's crazy. That's crazy. They have very limited.
That's how I avoid. Giving you money. Is I'm like, hey, you mind if I leave this in your showroom?
Sure. That's what it looked like when it was stock.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, just lowered on wheels. Actually, it's still pretty far from stock there, but it was non-turbo.
It was the bodywork, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but why shouldn't it be 1,000 horsepower and run on methanol and
Vinny and I did a whole episode about how this is that scope creep when you build something for the internet. That like that was never my intention. My intention was to finish a project that I started in 2004 and then let sit, which was like to build a really fun street car.
Yeah.
And instead I built a full-blown race car. Like there's not even a passenger seat instead. Like it's a full-blown race car that like we both know won't be that good on track. Yeah. Because I'm not a race car engineer. I built something that looks cool. It'll probably do some things very well.
And is it all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive? It's all-wheel drive.
Okay, Quattro system. So
now,
paddle shift.
Did this slippery slope happen because you knew everyone in the modification industry, basically? Did you have people come up to you like drug pushers and go, hey, we could get you this, we could do this, 100%. You should do that, and you went, oh, yeah, okay, and then it just drifts away from your control?
That's the access you have when you build content and have a huge audience, like we did at Hoonigan, where someone will say, hey, I heard you're doing this. Like, why would you not have a sequential transmission? Why would you not have this? Why would you not have this? And even if it's not, even if they're not like completely comping it out or you're doing like a marketing trade out, it's always at a discount.
Yeah.
And it's like a good sale. Like my grandma would never pass up a good sale, Like of course I gotta go get a good sale.
I don't need a fucking X-Track gearbox, but like, it's 75% off. Why wouldn't I want one?
Yeah, and it becomes like that, and it also became this weird competition between Ken and I, because Ken was having, he took this LCE car and was sort of refinishing it, and it made me want to push mine to be better than his. So I was like, I'm going to have more power, more this, more that. Like I couldn't beat the man at 95% of the things he did. So I was like, let me try to do this. The difference is he got his car to run at the end, but that's because he had like an entire race team building it. I built this with a few buddies.
Right.
So
that's not I saw what Ron went through with his crazy Evo.
Yeah.
And it's like what you did. I mean, it's like a 900 horsepower Gymkhana car.
Yep.
But it broke like every time he drove it until the final month when he owned it. It seemed like, he ran it a couple times, but it's like it's a full built race car trying to drive around on the street.
And you start to change so many things that it doesn't like it is really actually like just rude to think when you're building something like that it's going to work, right? Like you're like, you're like because
you're not going to make it not drive like an Audi.
Yeah,
like a 1990.
I mean, the engine still sits 19 feet in front of the wheels. It's still going to do a certain thing. But no, I think it's just it's a lot to get that and then develop it. And I don't think that the YouTube model actually supports the development part.
Correct.
So you get to this point, and that's the finishing line. People don't really want to watch 4 episodes of you at the track making minor adjustments or trying to understand why this one AN fitting continues to leak, or that you used way too many Heim joints and like you've rattled the entire, you've rattled your fillings out, or this isn't doing this, or this is binding because you did this. Like, that's not fun.
No, the cosmetic reveal is it.
Yeah.
That you're as far as YouTube's concerned, you're fucking done.
I remember we did it when ACP and I did a TV show at Discovery Channel. We built this Rolls Royce, which later became the Hoonigan Rolls, but in the beginning we did it for the show Car Saviors, and they said to us, well, you guys have to paint it. I'm like, well, I kind of like how it looks. Like, it has like a
Very
cool
raw
look.
metal.
And they're like, no, you don't understand. This entire show is about the color transformation. We don't care what else you do, as long as we get to come back from commercial break and it's a different color.
Pull a sheet off.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think the car was silver and blue, and we made it blue over silver, which like they were not excited because I just bought them on it, and then no surprise.
But
the show
that's
didn't
it.
do
But
well.
like, sad but true, completely accurate. Like that marketing person was absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
And it sucks that's what like build shows are.
Have you owned a serious build since your Mustang, or was that really because
No,
you're
I
now
learned.
more on? Yeah.
Well,
you learned
listen,
fast.
says the fucking guy with a disassembled Lamborghini Countach, but not. That's not a. I mean, maybe it's the same thing, I guess, because this car was absolutely running and driving when I drove it to Donnie's house to fix the window crank.
Is it still not running?
No, it's not put back together.
We've been
yet.
talking about. I've been on the show like 3 times in 3
it's
years.
been 3
and
years.
We've talked
It's
about
been
it
3
every
years.
time.
Yeah, it's been 3 years.
Probably my coupe too. So.
Yeah, it's 3 years. Oh, that post says 2021, Habibi. So I think you fucking win.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway.
yeah, but I mean, I have other shit to drive. But I did learn after that I didn't want to do those types of go where no one's been before builds anymore.
Yeah.
So like after that, it was like, Lee Keen, I'm sending the wire and a stock car, and you call me with a bill and a fucking finished product, And then, hey, Rick DeMann, sending you a brand new Spider, fucking ship it when it's done, and that's worked out.
Yeah.
It's worked out. I get to drive the crazy thing that I wanted to drive without doing the bullshit.
Yeah, unfortunately, crazy builds for me, they're like that toxic, like, ex-girlfriend, like, you don't avoid her text messages. It's just like, I'll sit there and be like, yeah, I'm never going to do this again. And then I'm like, that car does need an all-wheel drive swap and a turbo 1.4 and all that, and you just get into it.
Do you think that is that part of your brain, like the same creative brain that has led to so many amazing projects, channels, etc., wants to go all the way to 11 with project cars? Or do you think they're totally different? It's just like, I don't know, what is it about your car life that has led to you wanting to have those kinds of cars?
I really enjoy the paper build part. Like, I enjoy the research and the concept and thinking about it. So, like, there's a car right now that I don't even tell anyone about because I don't think anyone would be interested about it. I have a car that I bought as a parts car because I wanted to steal the interior out of it for my Rabbit, right? The Mark 1s are harder and harder to find, so like if I find one for cheap and it's got the right parts, like I'll grab it. That's one of the downsides of having a farm.
When farm becomes junkyard.
Yes. And that we call it Scotto Farm and Salvage for a reason. But that car is it was going to be a parts car, and then I ended up getting the title mailed to me, and I'm like, oh, this is like a non-salvage title. It's clean, and the car could be restored. So I dream all the time about how I'm going to restore this car, but how I'm going to do it as if I was still 22.
Yeah.
So instead of just going and throwing money at it and buying all new stuff for it and all these things, like I'm just like slowly acquiring like cheap parts from Marketplace or buying other parts cars. I don't know why this excites me. Because I have another Mark 1 Rabbit that's nicer.
That's when cars were most exciting to you. So you're doing back to that. I think about Fox bodies all the time, even though when I was driving Fox bodies, I was thinking about the shit I have now all the time.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird like that. Yeah, so anyway, I dream about building like a really simple Rabbit that's just a really good daily driver that I really enjoy and sort of saving that car. But I am doing it the cheapest way possible, and my other friends are like, why would you do that headache? Like, just get a new part. Like, why are you trying to go to a junkyard to go find this one thing? And it's like, I don't know, I kind of enjoy the hunt. I enjoy that.
Because you're giving yourself a challenge.
Yeah. Plus, you do realize we're all at that age now where we are the new muscle car guys.
That's true.
Like, we're the new generation of that. Like, you build your car and it's nostalgia and you drive it listening to music from that era. Like, I drive around in my RS2, like, listening to Mobb Deep. I'm like, oh, my God, I am my stepdad driving around in his Volkswagen thing listening to the Beach Boys.
So we are doing a little bit of a project. I'm sorry if you've heard this before, but I got a free Mercedes, a 124 cab.
All right.
95. So I'm converting it with Shant from CMS Motorsports to a full E500 convertible that never existed.
I like this.
Just to fucking ride dirty. It's
this.
red, black.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna do a herringbone interior, dope stereo.
So you are about to get into a pretty crazy project. That's a good one, though.
Just a little powertrain swap.
Yeah,
one to another, no big deal.
Yeah.
NBD.
Have you seen the guy who has the? I've seen him like up in Malibu in the past. He has the. It's like a 300 wagon, but it's like full 500 E swap.
The red one?
Red one, yeah.
That's him.
Oh,
he's doing it.
Small world. There we go.
He
that
won't
guy.
sell me that car, so I'm having him build me a convertible instead.
Yeah, that thing is super rad.
Yeah. He also did the at Pebble Beach this year, the white shooting brake.
Yeah, okay.
You see that thing?
I didn't know that was him too.
Yeah. This dude, Shant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he fucking rules.
Yeah.
This white one.
Oops, sorry.
It's the real motherfucker.
I thought that was the third.
Where is it? Is it? No, that's a wagon. That one's just a wagon.
That's what he had.
But there's the one they did for Pebble, which was this white. That's it on the right.
Wow.
And it looks like it has blue tint.
Yep.
It does not.
Is it the interior?
The interior is that color. It has perfectly clear windows. It's the fucking coolest.
I really want to do an all one color interior. I feel like it's such a like mid 90s thing that has been forgotten, and now like obviously you see them on 911s, but it was something that was super cool in the Volkswagen world. It's like you'd have a black car and then you would have just like a mint interior. It's just wheels, simple, and then the interior, but it's like every single part of it is wrapped or whatever.
Was like the Funk
Seatbelts
Flex
match.
celebrity car show era of fucking tuning. For sure.
Did you have the pleasure of knowing Flex?
Never met the man.
Oh, really?
No, you probably.
We were like actually like pretty friendly because I worked in hip hop for so long.
That show was actually rad though. It was a really good car show. Yeah, it was fun.
He did a great job with that. And he was a real car guy.
Oh yeah.
Like I think he was one of the I think like the same way people look at Leno.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, you don't just have cars to have them. Like if you get into a conversation with him, he would sit there and just like really, really just dial in on something.
Yeah, and the one I really want to go to is the Rick Ross car show. Did we talk about this last time you were here? I feel like we fucking did.
I don't know if we
in the
did.
same
Maybe.
places.
Yeah, but I actually just on my podcast that drops tomorrow with Hurt, which is yesterday for when this one comes out, we actually talk about the Rick Ross show because he went. Because I've never gone.
Yeah.
I've only got to see it from the outside.
I gotta go.
So
did Hurt say
he thought it could be better?
Okay.
He didn't want to talk badly about it, but he definitely felt like he was expecting something different. But he did admit that from like donk culture, it's given everybody like a reason to build something crazy. Like that to me, the way I see it from the outside is it's like the Goodwood Festival of speed
for donks.
For donks.
Whoa.
That's
right. Like the guys are building.
That's the best
craziest
marketing
stuff
campaign. That's they like racing up his driveway.
Yeah, there's a
donk hill climb.
If you want to search for the audience watching, Bobby Brown donk. I think that was either the winner or second place, and like this car is really, really
downtown Bobby Brown's donk.
Whoa.
I mean, this is probably like $500,000 or even more. Into it. It's kind of.
But
crazy.
it's up on this like mirror stand with the fucking wheels taken
look
off
at that. It's like lowrider culture of like the 80s and 90s now on the donk level.
So it's got like a fucking
engine.
Nelson.
I'm sure it makes like 3,200 horse. So,
wow, look at that. Those fucking brakes are all gold. Everything's gold.
Yeah,
all gold. Everything. Speaking, a ton about wheels. I had a question about wheels. The other day, I was driving this Ferrari 812. Can you just grab the picture of that from Instagram, Zach? Not the 812. I'm sorry, the new 12C.
Okay.
So here's the wheels, and so they're doing a Daytona throwback. Is basically what this car is, right? And I thought, wouldn't it be fucking sick if you put wires on this? But like, is there a set of wires that would work, that would look right, that would hold up to Ferrari driving? Because there's a way to fuck up wires for sure.
Yeah.
But is there a wire, like if you wanted to throw back Barani wire wheels, could that be done visually effectively on this car?
I mean, I don't know if it would ever be like TÜV like approved, but you could definitely probably get them to fit because the wires mount very similar to like a
center lock.
Center lock, right?
Yeah.
Like you have like the hub, and then you have like the knockoffs that hold them on.
I searched 22-inch wire wheels. They exist.
I can't imagine they have the structural integrity
That's what
that
I'm
you
saying.
probably need. But then again, I don't know, man. Bicycles use spokes and
They lean.
yeah,
They don't experience
That's
lateral
true.
G's.
I did go to school for mechanical engineering, but I don't know this.
I don't think they would.
You graduated-
I don't think they would handle.
I never got my diploma,
There
so
it is.
there it
That's
is.
what
I am diploma-less.
No, I think they would collapse under fucking 0.2 lateral G's, but I think it could look cool.
You should do it just for the vibes. It would be pretty cool. So.
I saw a guy not long ago here in Los Angeles that had a black C8 Corvette on like 15-inch Daytons. And I was mesmerized.
I live in Long Beach. This is normal weekend stuff you see at Trader Joe's.
That's crazy.
Long Beach has a car culture that is stuck in the 90s. Like, it's not because 90s is cool again. It's like, no, these guys still have the same, like, old body style, like, slammed on wires. Everyone still drives around in G-bodies on, like, wires or on, with, like, you know, mustard and yellows. Right? Or they've got, it's just, like, and the amount of, like, lowrider, but also, like, lowrider adjacent culture. So it's not like your classic lowrider. It's like your town car on wires.
Yep.
You know, that is still a normal occurrence. I see
you have
more
a
of that. I don't
front-wheel
see a lot of
drive-
supercars in Long Beach, but I see a lot of that.
Is that
because
because Long Beach got super famous in the 90s from Snoop Dogg and whatnot, and they're just like, yes, this is our moment, we're holding on to it?
I think that culturally you just have a large collection of, like, from Whittier to Long Beach, like, this still, like, the mecca for lowrider culture. I think, like, you still see a lot of that there. And, I mean, there's just... The crazy thing about Long Beach is, like, there's just coves of Long Beach that are so different.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so, it's such a different, it reminds me of Queens, which is why I enjoy living there, where it's like, you could walk 20 feet and you're, like, in a completely different neighborhood, completely different, like, aesthetic and all of that. So I think you get that piece of it. But yeah, I mean, I think Long Beach is long baked in, like, lowrider culture and all of that. But at the same time, have you been to the All Makes meet? I don't want to. I'm afraid I'm going to, like, blow it up because it'll be too big. But there's a meet that's done there by a coffee shop called Good Time, and it is one of the best naturally curated cars and coffee I've ever been to.
Really?
Because it's just such a great collection of weird and random stuff. But you've got everything from, like, you know, Rob the Crook will show up in his Murcielago on BBS RSs, which is, like, super cool to see. But yeah, I mean, here you go. Like, you'll just see, like, such a cool collection of, like, random stuff, and it's always amazing because it's Long Beach. But I think you get this mix of, like, people who don't.
Oh, wait. I have been here.
Yeah.
Yes. I kind of forgot. I'm sorry. Gibran took me here. I have been here.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
very good, very fun. But it's interesting because there's a lot of stuff hidden in Long Beach. But at that point, part of the Long Beach thing is we don't talk about Long Beach because we don't want people from LA to move there. So yeah,
I'm not. I can't do it. I like it. I
was-
very much like Long Beach.
I loved Venice. I lived here for 10 years.
Yeah.
But I had to go. I mean, you and I
get it.
lived like 5 blocks.
I don't
apart
live in
from each
Venice
other.
anymore either.
I know.
Yeah, I get it.
know.
I understand. But I like Long Beach very
Yeah.
much. Whenever I'm in Long Beach, I go, if I didn't have
Yeah.
to leave here, I would totally move here. But I have to be in LA a lot, so I can't live down there.
I will say, coming back here for this, getting off at the 90, like, I forgot how much I love that turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You know the turn I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
405 North, onto the 90.
With the bump in the middle.
And it's, I
Experts
came on
only.
in the S8, and it's like, I knew it. I had never driven in that car, but I knew exactly where it was. It was like, this is a 10-10 corner.
So the very first time I took that exit ramp, I'm going to take it back to 07. My first time in LA as a professional video maker.
Right.
Emil Rensing picks me up at the airport in his Audi RS4.
How is Emil doing these days?
I don't know. Don't care. On parole, hopefully. Don't give a fuck. Picks me up in the RS4, hits and for some inexplicable reason goes on down Century to the 405 to go to Venice, which nobody fucking would ever do. But he did. So hits that thing, and he points out that bump. He goes, there's going to be a bump in the middle of this, and I'm going to pass this fucking car on the outside. And did what in hindsight would probably be considered fairly reckless driving, but that exit ramp has been seared into my brain ever since. Yeah, we have this whole area between the 105 and the 90. The 105 fucking cloverleaf song. Exceptionally good. Exceptionally good. Yeah. And I don't want to say exactly which entrance ramp is by my house, but the 405 entrance ramp by my house is a half a mile long and only a single fucking lane, and boy, can you let her rip.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because during the pandemic, like, you learn a lot of like the really good clovers because you're just bored and you want to go drive. But now, that I'm in, I have the place in North County, San Diego, it's like, I don't need that anymore.
You have farm roads.
Yeah, I have farm roads, and it's the best thing because I don't even really drive them that fast, but I just drive them enough to have fun in the car.
Going back to visit my folks in Greenwich, like for Thanksgiving, just to pull out of the house and just be on a road that just does this, and everywhere you go, you're just on a road that does this, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why people like buy cars that handle well for like everyday driving. Like, I haven't needed that in so long.
Do you know Tommy F? Yeah,
he's up there.
Yeah, so we were going back and forth from his shop to Lime Rock.
Yeah. Oh,
it was almost as much fun getting to Lime Rock as driving Lime Rock. And coming back.
Those roads are
the
amazing.
roads are just so good. It's like, man, you get to drive that every day. It's really good.
We don't have to stop this show, but I have to pee, so y'all talk amongst yourselves. I've decided that I'm just going to pee when I feel like it.
That's all right. Zach needs his moment.
Have your fucking show.
We can do it without you. Whoops, I chose the wrong cameras.
Maybe we can't. Maybe we can't. Maybe we can't. How have you been, sir?
I've been good. Yeah. Your question about where to freeze the career was interesting because I think there are parts of my career from like the 2016-15 when we're making Drive and we were making Proving Grounds. It was so fun to be on that collaborative effort with a bunch of people and getting to like do adventures and weird shit. But I wasn't driving as many things. I was like just behind camera and behind permits the whole time, and that sucked. So it's like a blend of like that stuff was great, but right now I'm having more fun in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for me, there's probably 3 high water marks or milestone moments. Like there was this like peak moment at 0 to 60 where we had just convinced everybody to trust us. So we're like getting invited to drive cool stuff and to do cool things, and from like Audi loaning us cars for like 2 weeks at a time to just like, just gallivant across Europe in them. That was an amazing era. And it was like, felt very DIY, and I was in my 20s and, it was really rad. Then there was this peak moment, at Hoonigan, where again, we were like sort of just DIY, like trying to build something. There were no rules. We're sort of inventing it as we go. That was really, really fun. And then I have to say, like right now, I feel like I'm just entering this new thing that I think is really interesting. It took me, I think 2 years from leaving Hoonigan to be like, what am I doing? You don't. Yeah. It's like it's a weird situation to build this thing for a really long time and then decide to like hit the eject button and go do something completely different. And then realize, maybe that's what I wanted to do, and kind of come back into it. And,
did you have ideas, like either while you were at Hoonigan or right after, that you just kind of wrote down? You're like, maybe those things, or was it totally? Were you blank for a while because you were just sapped and you wanted to just take like 6 months to just look at avocados?
Good question. So one, I think the one thing, everyone just thought I retired, which is so far from the truth. I just went and did something else and I was not vocal about it. So if it's like it's the if a tree falls in the woods, it's like if a YouTube influencer doesn't YouTube, do they even exist anymore?
If a 6'8" YouTuber walks in the woods but no one's there to see him, right?
Yeah, and so I got to a point where like while I was at Hoonigan, every idea was for Hoonigan. Like I never put something to the side. Like my life was so invested in building Hoonigan and doing that if I had an idea, I gave it to Hoonigan. Which, when I left Hoonigan, it's like, I don't have any, like, all the ideas are there, right? Like, all this IP I sort of gave over to them. I then worked in animation, non-automotive for a year during the non-compete. And then when I came, I think coming back into it, it was kind of nice because I had this year to, like, sit there and be like, what do I really want to do? This will be something I will try to say as humbly as possible, but I got Ken, all the people I worked with, and all the people I had the luxury to like call mentors. Richard Chang over the years, all these different people I worked with, they gave me this Chris Harris too, right? Even though Chris Harris, I always joke, I'm like, remember when you used to work for me?
Yeah.
But like, even when Chris works for you, you learn from him, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those people. But, you know, it was this like master course on doing everything. But I was doing everything, and I kind of got just good enough at about everything that I could do a lot of things. So when I came back into automotive a year ago, you know, and I came on this Your Guys podcast then, I was like, I was literally just doing whatever. And I was, I can do this. I was like generally good at everything. But I didn't actually ever think to myself, do I enjoy doing this? It was like, just because you can do it
totally.
doesn't mean you enjoy doing it, right? So it was like, oh, I can consult, I can help with this, I can do that. And like consulting's that thing that's so easy to do when you've got 20 years in the business because you're like, yeah, I know how to do this and I can help you navigate it. But at the end of the day, I wasn't the one doing it anymore. I wasn't the one
And they don't have to listen to you and you see the end product and you're like, oof, I told them not to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and you're disconnected from it and all of that. So I think it gave me this year or two to sit there and go, fuck, what do I really enjoy doing? And actually, the moment, like that spark moment for me was on Sung Kang's film Drifter this summer. And I was like, oh, this really excites me again. It was brutal. It was a lot of work. It was really difficult. We did.
Was it just being on the set of, what was your role in the film?
So I was second unit director.
Oh, okay.
So I did all of the stunt and action work.
Okay, cool.
And I actually also got to dabble.
Please describe your experience in that.
Yeah. It was. You've had Sung on the show before? Yeah. So I didn't really know Sung. He was one of those people, and like I'm sure we all have this. Like we all live in Los Angeles. We all belong to this car industry / community. And there's people that are friends of friends, and then you just never meet them, right? Like they're never, and you almost feel like you know them because you're like getting tagged in the same stuff together, and you're talking about each other on podcasts. Like I don't actually know this person. Sung decides he wants to make this movie, which was actually originally the initial D project that he was working on. And he said, I really want the Gymkhana look. Someone was like, and I've talked to a few people and they said that, they can create that. Chris Marion, who's a mutual friend, said, why don't you just call Scotto? Like, I'm sure he'd be happy to help. So that's what connected us. Obviously, that project didn't go forward. And then he decided he wanted to make his own film, which is Drifter. And
I was kind of bummed when that happened. I mean, I'm sure Drifter's going to be awesome, but I was stoked to see his interpretation of Initial D if that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, a live action of that I think is still something that hopefully one day gets made. But anyway, he brought me in and said, hey, we want to do all this. It was a low-budget film, which meant that it was really grueling, but it also meant that I got to do a lot, which I enjoy. I enjoy like just being able to kind of get into the stuff that normally I wouldn't have to because there'd be someone else there to do it. And I got to not only direct the action and help sort of concept a lot of those scenes and how the driving was going to be and even bring in the drivers and the cars and all of that, but I got to also direct a couple narrative moments. Got to work with Pumphrey, which was cool because I don't know how well you guys know James, but
a little bit.
I didn't know him well at all because literally he worked for, I wouldn't say Donut and Hoonigan were competitors, but we were both big at the same time in the same space. We made different type of content, for a long time. So we never really were in the same place at the same time. But everyone, I think, just assumes you know each other.
That's exactly the same. I've been in the same room with that guy like 2 or 3 times, maybe. But we're friendly and everything, but everyone assumes that we know each other well and we don't.
So the interesting, I think he's actually a very good actor. It was really fun to work with him, and he ends up playing a completely different personality than I think what people were used to see him on Donut or now Speed. But it was fun to do that, and it was brutal. It was we shot in Barstow and Lancaster. Name 2 places that you would rather not spend time in August.
Yeah. Oh God.
Right? I mean, it's the worst
degrees,
place. It was just miserable every day and working 15-hour days. And I just loved every minute of it. And it brought back that, because when you stepped out, take a leak, we were talking about he brought back the conversation of that. Can you freeze a moment in your era in your career? And I was just naming the milestones. And for me, that was this moment where I was like, man, this is that energy I haven't felt in a long time. Like that, get up, alarm clock goes off, and you wake up because you want to start your day. Right?
Directing action sequences in films is pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet, yeah.
It's pretty sweet, man.
And it was also this long, sort of goal for Ken and I. Ken never watched Fast and Furious, not a single one, because he said he had no interest in watching a film where he clearly knew the driving was fake. So he just had no interest in it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I understand it.
Yeah, he just was like, it just doesn't work. I have my barber we used to be a cop, and he's like, I don't watch cop shows because it's just too fake to me. Like that's not how police work is done.
Yeah, and then if you're not watching Fast and Furious for like the cars and the driving, which is, I mean, that got me into it when I was younger. Well, then you're not really watching it for most of the acting, or the script,
the plot, or
at that point you should just watch anything Jason Statham makes.
Yeah,
other than
pretty
Fast
much.
and Furious.
Yeah, watch
the Transporter is fairly legit, more legit. But like, I've been like, people have asked about F1 the movie, and I don't love it.
Okay.
Same kind of reason. I just like.
Are you a big F1 fan?
No. Okay. I mean, I'm like a casual racing fan, but like I don't care that much about Formula One.
Yeah.
But like a fucking Joseph Kosinski movie about Formula One, like, okay, but like I had problems. I had problems with it.
So I feel like I for some reason I've given this movie a pass because I think it's a great movie. I think it fills this like big movie feel. Mm-hmm. I know that it does a lot of things that are sort of outside of the reality of open wheel and Formula One racing and how things work.
Yeah.
I think that the action, like photography in it, is okay. It feels like broadcast, but that's okay, and I think that's acceptable. Like they didn't need to reinvent the wheel for it. I really like Brad Pitt. So, like I just enjoy a good Brad Pitt film.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think it served its purpose.
It was a good sports movie.
It's a good sports movie.
But with F1 as the sport, and I watch F1 like I watch it with my wife every week. I'm not a super fan, but I pay attention.
Yeah.
And I knew that like the driving was a little whatever, and some of the moves they had to do a lot of. They did a great job of exposition to casual fans, casual viewers of like, this rule works because I mean, they had a lot of different like balls they had to juggle. But I came out of it going, that was fun. There were a lot of really good jokes. The action was pretty good. I thought it was a solid
movie. If they made a movie that services the Reddit F1, no one would have watched it 100%. Except for those guys.
And I'm not. And my criticisms with it are not with the nuanced differences from fucking racing.
Yeah.
They're with like much bigger fucking stuff, like the fact that entire scenes are lifted wholesale from either Days of Thunder or Top Gun Maverick, and then just rearranged back and forth. The guy living in the van turns down a $50,000 watch as a prize and says, "I've already got a watch," and it's the watch sponsor that's paid for the movie. And these type of things.
Have you watched movies before?
Listen, man, I don't have to like that. I don't have to like it. I just thought I was
in the second chapter of Save the Cat. They're basically like every movie's been made before, just make it different.
If you make a baseball field in a field of corn, ghosts are not showing up.
Yeah, but Point Break.
Yeah,
Fast and Furious, the first one, same movie.
Yeah,
I enjoy them both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like Point Break better. Big shout.
I mean, look, I like Days of Thunder. I like Days of Thunder.
Are you excited that there's going to be like a Days of Thunder F1 crossover?
It's going to be they're just going to fucking pick two and cross them, right? Yeah.
People were doing. They were doing shot lifts where they were showing like scenes where he like throws her up against the wall like to kiss her or whatever, and it's the exact same shot.
No, that's what I'm saying. They were literally shots and scenes wholesale lifted from other movies.
Are they lifted or are they homages?
Oh, bro, I don't know.
I ask because like there are shots in the Gymkhana film that are homage to things I've done with Ken.
You can't homage yourself. Let me just say, you cannot homage.
That's a reference?
Fucking Kosinski, as good as he is, you can't homage Top Gun Maverick in your racing movie. Sorry.
Yeah, all right.
I think it's a good point. But I think the pressing, girl up against the wall is like a cliched shot that probably began long before that.
No, but there's like a dozen shots that are lifted wholesale from these movies.
Someone did a reel, and it's like boom, 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 boom. It's Days of Thunder. It's like boom, 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 boom.
A lot are stolen directly from one of those two movies, directly. And I was with Tommy Kendall, and I love Days of Thunder, by the way. Yeah. I was with Tommy last weekend. Who I love.
Is he still driving his chicken car?
Oh, yeah. We fucking won this together last weekend. Sick. I'm so excited for this, for us. Yeah. He won his first race in 11 years with that fucking trophy. But we were talking about this at dinner. And he was talking about Days of Thunder because he was a fucking big name at He was hanging out with Tom Cruise when they were making Days of Thunder. He was like helping with that shit. And I was like, what do you think is the most realistic part of Days of Thunder? And he says the part where they're racing the rental cars is fucking spot on. Everything else is bullshit.
Love it. Sounds about right. Yeah. But back to that point, Ken and I always had this thought of like, it would be really cool to influence car chases and action stuff in car movies to make it feel more real, right? Like, why not?
Definitely.
Like, they actually have the budgets to go do this stuff. How is it that we do it in these like little internet films,
right?
But they can't do it in some of these bigger pictures, and they go, now it's all CG, or it's just sort of like these faked moments that don't feel practical anymore, and all of that. So getting a chance to dabble in that with Sung was really cool. I've got another project I can't talk about that's coming up in 26 that hopefully I get to do that again. I've like started writing scripts and screenplays on some ideas, and it's weird. It's like I woke up one day and was like, yeah, this is what I've always wanted to do. I might as well go do it. And
cool. Like, make car movies.
You go make a throw at it for 2 years, and hey, maybe it won't work, and maybe it doesn't ever deliver for me. But I don't know. I feel like there's this want right now where people want things to feel real again. Like, I think AI has really, like, the AI slop has really brought an audience to say, I either want this to be tangible or I want to know that this happened. Like, so for example, you guys probably know about like the Apple opening logo. Have you guys seen that? So Apple just redid their opening logo for Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
And they shot it practically. It's pieces of glass that they actually shot this whole thing. And it's like, so if you're watching like Pluribus or anything like that, like that's the new logo that comes up. And it kind of became this like mini viral moment in sort of probably the design world of like, hey, we went and actually really did this, and like really doing it is cool. Look, I don't want to speak badly of Tom Cruise because maybe one day I get to work with him. But, like, Tom Cruise is an interesting person. What's really interesting about him is that he's at the age he's at, and he still tries to do all the stunts.
Oh, for sure.
That, for me, makes Mission Impossible.
He fucking bought the whole franchise just so he could do that.
It makes me enjoy the movies more. I don't know knowing that he did this makes me enjoy the movie more. It feels like it comes across. And while he may have the exact same performance and you could say whatever you want about his acting, he brings something to those films. When I'm watching the biplanes do that, and I see him, and I'm like, I know he's probably really doing that. I don't know what it is. It brings me in it more. But for car action, the minute we go into car action, I watch something and I'm like, they cut there to do that. And that's not real. Like, I can tell that what's happening outside the windows at a different speed. Like, all these little things and I'm obviously super attuned to those things. But I think just in general, people realize that it's not real.
I think subconsciously they do. And I'm sure movies have. Well, I mean, they have a budget, right? They have a budget of time and they have a budget of money of like how much time can we put into this car chase versus the bank heist scene versus the romance scene or whatever. So they go, well, is this a car movie or how important is the car element to this film? Yeah. Like, what was the movie with Kevin Spacey and the kid? Baby Driver.
Baby Driver is
right?
fantastic.
Fantastic. Because they were like, this is pretty much a car movie or like half
but
car,
I'll
half
tell you
robbery.
this, I can't tell you how it ends, but I could probably go scene for scene on how it starts.
Totally agree with you.
Because I thought that the car stuff really stood out. And Edgar Wright, I think, is great at what he does. I think that whole scene was fantastic.
Yeah.
I've worked with the stunt coordinator who did that and who did the driving, and that is the one real exception to me of like, okay, this is good. Like this, like I watch this and it gets me really excited. But for me, and the reason I own the car I came here today in my D2 S8 is because the movie Ronin was that for me as a kid. Like that was just it was practical. Frank Hammer wanted to do this, and I think we've had this conversation
all
before.
You can do is practical, pretty much.
Well,
but they were starting to shift off. I mean,
Jurassic Park was the first like sort of believable CG,
I agree,
and that was 92.
But it was a lot less dynamic. Those are like the dinosaurs kind of stay still and move.
But there's also just there's the CG side of it. Like put a car in a volume, create an entire background. There's a video out there where there's a car in the volume, it's not moving, and they make it look like it falls down a cliff, right? And the volume is an LCD screen that wraps the car, so you can create this world. And you watch it, and you're like, yeah, it actually kind of feels like a car's going down. You do realize it's fake, but it's sort of there. But back in the day, they kind of created this language of camera work where it's like tight shot, this, that where it's like abstract. So you never get to feel it.
Yeah.
You just see this. And I keep joking that I want to cut a football game this way and see if people enjoy it. Because you'd be like, that's not fun. Yeah. That's like a sizzle for I'm about to watch the Jets get demolished.
Right.
That's like the sizzle for that. But like watching the Jets fumble in a where you see the whole story is the storytelling. And I think that a lot of people have lost storytelling in car chases. They just go for hype reel.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I would love to fix that. So I want to try to push into. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Like cliche, but the Italian job, like the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good
moments.
job.
I think that has some really good moments in it.
Wide shots where you can see more of what's going on, and the car's more in like a context.
I think some of the Bourne series has some good moments in it. Mission Impossible has some moments. The Bond series has some moments. Yeah. But there's also just I think we're moving further and further away. We're all talking about movies that maybe feel newer to us, but have been out for a decade. That's
a good point. That's true.
Right. So So anyway, that would be a cool thing to go do. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, it's like I just really enjoy that. I enjoy the storytelling side of it. That's cool. So
you seem like you got the ingredients, the skill set, and stuff. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Wish you luck.
If not, I can always fall back on this gifted
pitching you for that, or are you just hoping someone calls you and asks you to do that gig?
Right now, I'm hoping that someone's listening to this podcast and they give me a shout. No, I don't have an agent yet. Obviously, the Sung thing kind of came through word of mouth and doing that. And then another job came out of word of mouth of doing that. And really, for like January and February, my plans to kind of get my ducks in a row and kind of go have those conversations with the right people. I don't know. I don't know how much you've dealt with Hollywood stuff, but it's an interesting space.
Yeah, minimally.
So I mean, you obviously
didn't have the look.
Yeah, I'm happy to be behind camera. I enjoy that place, but I don't know. It's an interesting world. A lot of people have been like, you're running in a door that people are running out of right now, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, like I feel like I've done that before. So,
I mean, yeah, but also like, as opposed to running into YouTube, it's like same fucking story there, man.
Yeah.
Like don't know what to tell you about YouTube, but like it's not great over there.
No. YouTube was, great and was amazing for years.
Yeah.
And I think gave everyone who's sitting at this table a career on some levels. But it's at a weird moment now, and it's definitely super saturated. And I think it's created a lot of opportunity for a new audience that's coming in now. But you get to a growth moment where you're like, how do I keep making this work? Like, how does this keep going? Which is, I don't know. It's interesting of where people go from there. So I've had this conversation with multiple people. It's like, okay, you've done this now. You're on year 5.
Yeah.
Like, you have diminishing returns on everything you upload. Mm-hmm. You make like all of it's not working. But
Westside Collector Car Storage.
Yeah. No, well,
right. 2 locations in Los Angeles.
Look, the business model that I think where Hoonigan made the mistake was that when the content was doing so well, we put all the chips in on content, not realizing that it was the other pieces of the business that would keep us like afloat during bad times. Apparel business, event business, all of that. But I think you look at the younger YouTubers, and they're maybe not even that young anymore, but the Adam LZs, the Cletuses, the Westons. Like, these guys have multiple business models. They have like 19 verticals to keep. Like, they've got product, but they have an event. They've got a pay-per-view side of it. Mm-hmm. They're doing all these different things because the one thing isn't enough anymore, right? And like, there's so much on YouTube that like you can find something that's like very specific to your liking. It's like, hey, you're really into, Audi D8s, there's like, or Audi D2 S8s. Like, there's guys who that's all they do. It's all they make, right? And so I think it's an interesting world. But also no one, I think, has figured out really how to cross, especially in the automotive space, like how to cross over. Because even outside of automotive,
the Throttle House guys do with TV.
What do you think about what do you think about that? Do you know those guys?
Yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah,
they're smart. I don't know the third guy at all.
He's like the train
guy.
Yeah.
And that's apparently he's not actually that weird, and that's kind of a shtick. Sort of a shtick.
Right.
I mean, it's real, but it's an exaggeration.
Right.
But like, all right, but that's the thing I know about him. So I don't fucking know.
Like his POV is always that like GoPro head mount. Like is that
With, like,
really,
the fisheye
really
lens in his
fucking
face,
wide angle, like
Yeah.
strange looking. But
when they announced the grand tour, that the three amigos were leaving, a bunch of people were like, man, you, Vinny, and Ron should go do it. And like after being friends with Chris Harris, I was like, I want nothing to do with being anywhere near anything those guys have touched. Like, you do not want to follow them in on anything. Like, that is just not a place you want to be.
no, exactly.
They have mandingo power when it comes to content. Like,
so fucking funny.
This tunnel's big.
it's like they are on a whole other level, and I've gotten to watch those men work around in a writer's room, and you're like, yep, this is why you're good at it. Because they have real chemistry, they really know what they're doing, and it works. And they have good people around them too. But yeah, it's scary to kind of follow that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Harris is like as good as it gets when it comes to doing that thing, and still an impossible task.
I mean, Harris is like sort of the full package, and obviously, friend, big him up, but like he drives better than all of us.
Oh, he's so
And he
good.
drives better than all of them.
Yeah, he's fast. He's proper fast. Like he's not like you and I were journalists fast.
Yeah, no, he's fast. He's race car driver fast.
He's race car driver fast.
And
It's
he's
like a
also
whole
like
different world.
Formula D sideways.
Right.
Yep.
So he can also slide a car with the best of them.
Yeah.
And he can like articulate and say all this great stuff while doing it in like this great way, which is fantastic. And he's smart.
Yeah.
And I don't think you often get that.
But
collection.
still an impossible task to take over a show with the name Top Gear. Like nobody can do it.
If they were smart, I think you start a whole new show and it's like brought to you by Top Gear.
Yeah.
It's the ballerina of John Wick.
I think they
right?
also just trying to relaunch it. They were stuck because it's like the runways got shorter for media now. Like Top Gear had. I mean, what it was on for like 10 years before the 2000s when it started to hit viral status.
Yeah, they had the
downloading,
privilege
right?
of just being
Privilege of
the
time.
BBC Two like quiet,
and television giving them time.
car
And now
show.
everything's like if it's not getting record views or record response really quick, they shutter it. I thought Harris and Matt LeBlanc and Roy Reid were like so strong together, and if they had just let the audience kind of accept that the baton had been passed and then just judge those guys on like their actual merit, I think it probably could have, turned the corner and gone back up. But everyone was just like, nope, it's got to just do it real quick.
No, those guys made a good show. Like they did
100%.
make a good show. It's just like how do you crawl out from that shadow? Like just like not fucking possible.
Yeah. And they also, it's a chemistry show, and the original cast had years to develop that chemistry.
Very true.
Right? Like they were able to develop, and they kind of knew each other from the journalist runs a little bit anyway. They built on it. So, yeah. I don't know. Do you think a show like that can exist anymore, or do you think we're past that? Like, I want that show. I want another one of those shows, but we all know that if that show comes out, everyone's going to talk shit on it, like including like ourselves.
I think the only thing it can offer that you can't truly find on YouTube these days is like the big landscape, adventure across a country that's shot perfectly.
Right.
Because people can go do like the Mongolian rally themselves, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube of people doing it. But it'll be shot on like a drone and some GoPros and whatever. And you can get the car review content, Camisa or Throttle House. Like the number of people do the high level writing and pretty strong shooting and capture of those moments and like the action. But you don't get the big scape stuff or like building their own RVs like they did on Top Gear that they drove down the road. Like you don't get those big stunts and things with the refined jokes and the refined writing. But I don't think that's easy to find.
But that's the stuff I love.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I actually think that right now, whether it's the algorithm or whatever it is, like YouTube is crushing the creative curve, right? The more formulaic it is, the better. Even we were talking earlier about like the cadence of a podcast. Like I have this other show idea that I want to do because it's like a solid 1 hour, and I just know it'll do better. Like it's formulaic. You're going to get the same thing every time. It's going to have a payoff at the end, and I just know from everything I know from YouTube that like that will work better. But it then will be limited because it'll always just be that show.
Yeah.
And that's what YouTube wants. YouTube wants you to upload the exact
same thing 7
every week.
days a week,
and
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the more people who make stuff like that, the more that you end up in the same sort of delivery or feed group as them. And now they know how to what your audience looks like, and it becomes more understandable for them. if the three of us right now, we sat there and we said, let's put together the crack team of people to go create an amazing adventure, and we put a ton of money behind it. And we went and did it. There's a chance it fails on YouTube, which is crazy because it could be very good, but it just doesn't fit in anymore.
Yeah.
What made YouTube amazing when you guys had the success with Drive, when I had the success with the original Gymkhana films with Ken, and then later on even some of the success with Hoonigan, was that it was still the Wild Wild West. You could make anything, and if it was good, it would kind of float to the top.
Yeah, and also the world wasn't streaming everything anyway. Like on Apple TV, like the YouTube app and the Netflix app are like not that different.
Yeah.
And they both feed you shit like in the same way.
Yeah.
And so, but 15 years ago, like Netflix was fucking DVDs in the mail, bro. Like it wasn't streaming like that. So like they were distinctly different things, and now they're kind of like the same thing.
But I would kill for another really good adventure show. Like, I think automotive adventure stuff. Like, I don't know if I need another car review show, right?
Sure.
I think, to me, there's enough stuff out there that's servicing well on YouTube that delivers that. But the adventure thing is where the production costs and like being able to tell that, right? I mean, you looked at some of the later Grand Tour when they were only doing those travel pieces.
They abandoned the studio.
Like, it would be exciting when one would come up. And one, it's like feature length. And it's like, there was still something that was like really, really enjoyable to go sit down and watch. And I didn't watch the rest of what they did with that, but I would still watch those. And and the last one, I think, was probably a little bit too scripted.
The last one was very forced.
It felt like they didn't want to be there. Yeah.
Oh, the one for
whatever it was. I don't know. Whatever the last.
Across the desert. With
the very last one I thought was really good. The one before that was
Maybe
the winter one where it was super scripted.
Yeah. Where they crash in the tunnel.
Yes.
Yeah. That one felt too.
That one was hokey,
right?
Although James really did fucking hurt himself.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
But the one for the road, the very last one in Botswana, was beautiful. That was really good.
Where they go back to like the original location and they find
that was really beautiful.
That was fantastic. And like, I would love for more of that programming, and I just don't think that YouTube is the platform for that. I don't think it's not worth the investment for what you're going to get out of it. Like, the formula is what works on YouTube. Make that for that.
Well, dude, this is because like you and I and people our age, when it was television or even cable television, if you liked a show, Seinfeld, whatever the fuck, you'd watch the new episode of Seinfeld. You wouldn't see on the guide, it would say Seinfeld, the Chinese restaurant, and you would go, well, I don't like Chinese food, so I'm not going to watch this episode of Seinfeld.
I don't like that thumbnail. I'm not clicking
exactly. But YouTube has that problem where they don't. It's not like, hey guys, this is the fucking movie from this thing. This is like a real big. It's positioned right next to. Guy reacts to fucking Trump saying something shitty, or whatever.
That's the other problem, is that while you're watching a YouTube video, unless you go full feeder mode, you're being offered other things. So if there's a lull in the show you're watching, a lot of people's brains will go, okay, well, what's over here? Like, what shiny thing? So I like the Grand Tour and shows like that, because you have to go to Amazon, you put it on, and I don't think it's showing you other thumbnails next to the thing you're watching.
Another thing too, and I'm like, I realize I started this problem, but there's something about not seeing the view count next to something, because I'll see something, and part of what will make me decide whether I'm going to want to watch it is how long ago was it uploaded and what are the views, because if it doesn't have enough views, I'm like, oh, I guess it's not good, and that's not actually true.
Not at all.
I have definitely watched things that have 7,000 views, and I'm like, this is really good. Why isn't anyone watching this? Like, it just didn't break through. That's sort of, you still get that on Amazon. Like, you can watch something and you're not like you're not prejudging it or biased to it because you're like, oh, this hasn't done well.
It's true.
Where on the flip side, there are things where you're like, oh, that has 10 million views. I guess I have to watch it. And you're like, oh, it's just a really good thumbnail.
Sometimes the empty restaurant is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
People don't know.
It does go both directions, right? It's the great equalizer for both ways.
It's both great and bad all at the same time, which is true, I guess.
I just podcasting is less algorithmic than that. If someone subscribes to your show on whatever Apple Podcasts or whatever the fuck, they get it.
Yeah.
It's not just like, hey, by the way, you haven't listened to this in a couple weeks, but like, here's a bunch of things that are like kind of like that, but not the one you know. Anyway.
But at the same time, getting traction in podcasting, I think, is really difficult. Like, you guys probably forget because you were there early.
For sure.
But I look at what the viewership is on YouTube and what the actual downloads are, and it's like, man, if I didn't have YouTube, like this, very few people would have listened to this, right? But then the second episode comes out, and you're like, oh, well, they're all here again because they're already getting it because they've got it in their app and it's set to download. But like, there's a nice side to the algorithm. It helps you find an audience.
Years, man, a couple years to fucking really, really do it. It was a slog.
Are you guys still number one, or are you like fighting with other people?
It depends on the day of the week. Like the ranking is like real time. So like if we put up an episode like 6 hours later, we're number one, and then like 3 days later, we're down to number 5, and whoever put up an episode that day could be number 1.
Right.
So, like, it's, we're up there.
How many years is it now?
We started in 2012, January.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, 13.
You guys were like early to it. Is it crazy now where you're like, all these other shitheads are doing podcasts? You're like, we were the fucking originators?
I mean, it's nice that, like, we have been here long enough that we don't have to think about how to grow a podcast now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nice. But like, I mean, this is a great thing to be doing for a living. So 100%. I'm glad it's still working, unlike YouTube, which is not. So like, we could keep doing this. This is fine.
Yeah,
this is all right. I'm down.
Do you consume podcasts?
Yes, but not ones about cars.
Me neither.
Yeah. Comedy, history. I listen to podcasts about terrible people.
Yeah,
Behind the Bastards.
Same
the
here.
Dollop.
Yep. I used to listen to a lot of true crime. That's kind of like what got me in. I definitely came with the Serial bunch. Like, I entered podcasting for the original Serial. That's what got me in. I listened to political stuff, which I shouldn't. I actually have stopped. I realized at a certain point, I was like, and I've replaced that with listening to podcasts about movies. It's like the Rewatchables is fantastic.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
What Went Wrong is another really good one.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then I had like business podcasts and things like that. Like Guy Raz's like How I Built This is like a forever standard, like works. Cool. But podcast is probably like 90% of my content intake. I just don't have time to always.
Yeah, but you're in the car a lot,
or I just like I'm going to work on my car and just throw the AirPods in and listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
So, I realize I'm now like listening to talk radio. Like because I remember like walking into my like friend dad's house and he'd be like listening to talk radio.
Rush
I'm like,
Limbaugh?
what? No, he'd actually listen to car talk.
Oh, all right.
And the weird thing is he wasn't even into cars, but he would just listen to car talk because he just enjoyed the stories.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right,
there's a lot of people
to?
like that really liked car talk, even though they just didn't know the first fucking thing about cars.
It was entertaining.
It was. And it always sounded so friendly. Like, those guys sounded so helpful to anyone. You could walk up and go like, my dog is limping, and they'd probably know how to fix it, and they'd help. That's the vibe. It was just chicken soup.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are really the OGs.
Oh, yeah.
They paved, they walked or they crawled so we could run kind of thing.
They had the number one car podcast for a long time because their catalog got uploaded, and they had 50,000 episodes, and they were popular, and they just dunked on everybody.
Yeah. It took the pandemic for them to finally get fucking.
You guys are looking at your numbers, and you're like, a fucking ghost in the machine is beating us.
For years, we could never be number one. For years,
and remember VOD cars, like that old. They uploaded everything to podcast platforms, so they for years were number one because they had so much content, and they just for whatever reason the algorithm went, oh, you have a new thing every single day. And it's about cars and there's audio, so you're number one. But it wasn't a podcast.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Gaming the system.
I feel like I need to have you guys on my podcast, but it's probably weird because like we're going to have the same conversation just on a different channel. But I'll bring you on for one of the more structured show ideas.
That's better.
Yeah. I've got one that's like it's like creating a list show.
Oh, okay.
It's called Firing Order.
That's a good name.
And the group that keeps coming in is called the Rotating Assembly.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. As a writer,
you know what you're doing.
I enjoyed that one.
This is pretty good.
And the idea is we walk in with a question and we leave with a list.
Would you say
and we have to get it.
Each
So if you listen to the
contestant
first
is
episode, we did it a little bit of that one.
Cylinder heads, just me and my cylinder heads.
We could stop with Rotating Assembly and just move on from there.
You have, somewhere in your house there's paper with like 50 other names crossed out, so you went through all of them, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I am so into a good name that I will think of a name and then build an idea around it.
Yeah.
Right? Where I'm like, ooh,
rotating assembly is like really good. It says like it's a full-on 2-word double entendre.
Yeah, and the idea there is like, hey, I'm going to bring in these 3 people, and we're going to go through like these couple of topics. This is the rotating assembly for this like mini season, and we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. And it could be something as simple as like, greatest 3 Canyon cars for under 10 grand, greatest Formula One driver of all time. Like you could kind of create whatever greatest action scene in a movie. It's anything, and then you just have to fight about it.
This sounds like a show I was just on called Zach Clapman's Driver's Test.
Thank you for the plug.
Nice.
That was very nice.
I haven't actually. This is one of those things where I see it on the grams, and I'm like, I gotta like put in a bookmark to watch.
It'll be that show where it has 7,000 views. Where you're like, oh, this is kind of good.
That's it. That's
all good,
how
man.
it works.
That's why I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
I seen you had like Lieberman on.
I had him, Lieberman, Musto, and Misha Mansour.
Yeah, Larry Chen.
We did Larry Chen with Corey Burns and Glucker and Vinny Russo. Lynn Woodward, Mike Danger against Emmy Hall and Matt Hardigree. And first one was Alana Scher.
And you guys do like
Jesse
it's like game showy in a way.
Do you know Dropout TV at all? Or do you ever watch any British panel shows? Which are just excuses for comedians to sit and like make fun of each other.
Okay, yeah.
So I was watching that and like these game shows that are very improv based, and I went, oh, that'd be fun for car stuff. So there's some questions that have real answers. 2/3 of the questions is like just argue your opinion and make it funny.
Yeah.
And then I give out how many points I decide you're worth, basically.
Oh, nice,
and
nice.
So it's just people are arguing.
Arbitrary
and people are
points are the best thing ever.
Yeah.
We were big. Hoonigan was big on arbitrary points and ridiculous numbers. Like that's 1.6 million points moving forward. Okay, you get 3 points. You're like, how am I going to catch up? Don't worry. There's the super round.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's literally how all reality game shows are done. By the way,
just enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
It was fun, and I won a lot of made up points.
Yep,
great. Did you win anything else?
Most of my points were made up points.
You won a lot of Starburst.
I won about 17 Starburst, pink and red, and it was a fucking great evening. Great evening.
It's a good time.
Hell yeah. What else? What else is new for you boys?
Nothing. When you get to that point, that's when you end the show.
Oh, we're done?
Well, when you say what else,
when you
say what else is new for you boys.
I mean, I can talk for hours.
I know you can,
but at the
that
same
doesn't
time,
mean we have to.
It doesn't mean we have to. And like, the record's the record. Where are we at right now on time?
2 hours and
2:11.
Holy
11
shit!
minutes.
I thought we were only like an hour. This is the problem because I have
2 hours and 11 minutes.
You have ADHD? Have we talked about this before?
I do.
No, you do?
Yeah.
So, and I've spent like, I could do a whole podcast just on ADHD now because I decided I was going to just really educate myself about neurodivergence and like really dive into it and like better understand it. And I didn't want to medicate myself, so I wanted to like figure out other ways to like deal with it. And one of the things is that people with ADHD do not have the concept of time. And the best way to explain it is there's only 2 things. There's now and not now.
Yeah.
Like if you want me to do something right now, I can do it.
Yeah.
Not now could be in 5 minutes or in 5 years from now. My Coupe Quattro, unfortunately, lives in not now.
I think you've just described Vinny Russo also.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Vinny and I's conversations are all over the place.
Yeah, Vinny has those 2 speeds. Now and, well, maybe eventually, but probably
He
not.
also has it.
Let's see. Go to the Patreon. We're going to do just a few. And I'm going to pick which ones they are from the Patreon. And you can get in on the action by joining patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast. You can ask questions for the show, watch the live stream, get the show early, get more show, get the show without ads, and all these other things. Metallica's In Your Oil Pan says, if you were to go back and start Hoonigan with the knowledge you have today, would you do anything different or do it all the same? That's a good question.
It's a good one. I'm like now 2 years removed from leaving, and I think I was a bit more like sour about things when I left. But like now that time has passed, it's just like any kind of relationship. Like if you're a good person, you remember the good moments. Mm-hmm. So like, man, we had a really, really good time. Like it was great. We learned a lot of stuff. So I would be afraid to adjust any of that and have this butterfly effect that all of a sudden it doesn't become the same thing. But if I was to do it over again and have more control in the way I did it my own way, I think that the reality is like we had to realize that once we started growing personalities, that these people were going to want to go do their own thing. And I think a collective of everybody doing their own thing, but together as one, would have been a better model forward. And whether that was like a shared equity with everybody or just a way a way to like make it so that people could build something that was their own that they could take with them kind of thing. Because I think at a certain point, everyone was like, I want to go do this by myself. And I, of all people, wanted that in my own. Like I finally got to do my own thing, and I couldn't fault someone else for wanting to go build their own thing too. Part of what made Hoonigan great was a lot of these guys had their own minds. You look at Vinny, he went to go build his thing. Hertz doing his own thing. All these guys are doing their own thing now, every one of them. And that, I think, is something that having the hindsight there is like if we could have figured out a better strategy where
could have been like a talent incubator for those kinds of folks.
Or like a joint a joint venture type situation where you're like, hey, you want to go do this thing? Let us support you in the early phases of it. Let's figure out a way that we can work together on it. We'll help fund it. We'll help build it. But in the end, you get to lead with it, right? And like maybe there's something there. Because then I think everyone would have had a little bit more focus on what they wanted to do. And it would have allowed us to extend and be broader. Because you could, like Hurt could just go do the grassroots drifting stuff and really live in that space and not have to also service wanting to go do stuff in muscle cars, right? Like we could have lived in a different world. And I think that's actually what fits better today. That being said, I didn't know any of that.
Of course. Sure. Well, that's why it be what it be. BMW i8D's nuts. What would you have realistically done if the Subaru had drifted into the water and or into the powerboat off the pier in the most recent video? Is there a backup car or backup plan?
There was no backup car, so if it sank, it was over. Luckily, that was the last shot, so we would have just called a wrap a little earlier and started the wrap party. I will say,
if the car went in the water, would you have left it in the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably would have just been the end sequence, right? So Travis crossed over first, and then Jim York did it in the Outback afterwards because we wanted to prove that the water was deep.
No, I was talking about off the barge. When he was fucking drifting and he fucking rail slides the edge of the barge, whether accidentally or on
really
purpose.
bad because that was the first day of filming.
Was that an intentional rail slide, or did he just?
No, that was intentional.
Okay.
Like, we kept pushing it. We kept pushing it. Yeah, bold stunt for the first day for sure. We would have drained the car and rebuilt it. So, and the team was prepared to do it. So. One of the things we had told Travis in any of the water situations is if you feel yourself either starting to drown or go off, just both feet in, foot off the clutch. Because not only do you want the engine to turn off the engine, but you want it to stop.
You want to stall it.
You want to stall it and get all the cylinders to stop so you don't suck water in and blow all the valves and hydrolock the engine. It's a rally car, so you've got mil-spec wiring. Most of it's waterproof. Like, they would have had to dry it out. It probably would have taken a day or two, but they would have gotten it back together.
Cool.
So,
wow.
But yeah. But like we had a crane there that was there ready to go pull it out if we needed. We had divers, so yeah, but we never have a backup car. There's never a backup car.
That was a pretty deep board slide for a car. I mean, that was...
So Travis and I had this whole conversation of can you go deeper than he went before? And like, of course, I'm not in the car, so like I can take the bet. I'm like, of course you can. You know how to swim, right? And so he went 2 wheels off, and unfortunately, there was a camera below that showed both wheels off, and the GoPro died as you hear the car coming to the edge.
No.
So you hear like, what? And it just goes black right as it was coming to the moment. So if you watch in the drone shot, you can see that both wheels are off, and you can see in Travis's face that he feels it go. Yeah. You can see the shock in his face. I'm like, oh boy, I might be going off. And you can hear the rev limiter hit because at that point, like nothing's touching the ground. And it
if you watch the tight shot, front right wheel comes off the ground for a little bit.
So
one wheel.
Travis points out there's a moment where only one wheel has traction.
Dude.
Yeah. So, and then the whole center of the car on like a board slide.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sick.
Let's see. Keep going down. Keep scrolling.
By the way, I love seeing some names here that are also on my Patreon. So like,
nice.
Like Duffel Shuffle. It was also on there. So.
Let's see. Ham Only Fans is pretty good.
Ham Only Fans is a group. I would pay $10 a month for just like fresh, explicit hamon straight to my house.
That would be a great delivery service.
Yeah. Ham Only Fans. Ken would have invested in that business. He was the biggest hamon friend. He would go to Spain and just send me photos of like a port of a pig's leg
That's
and be
me.
like, yeah, here you go.
All day, every
Yeah.
day. Come only fans. Projects you pitched at Hoonigan that you weren't able to do, but you wish could have happened.
So many. Most of them were crazy road trip ideas. So like, hey, we want to do this really, really crazy thing. And usually it was because for the whole team to be out of office for 2 weeks to make one YouTube episode just didn't make sense. It wasn't feasible. I would say the ones that really stand out was, well, we were supposed to go race the Nürburgring. I talked about that on my first pod, but I would say, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say. Maybe I want to keep them. Maybe there's ones I want to hold. But there was a bunch of we tried to do Gymkhana in Monte Carlo, and they turned us down.
Yeah.
But that would have been super cool. We were going to do recoil in Cuba. We ended up not doing it with BJ. BJ went and did it with Andy Bell at Sweatpants instead. Whole bunch of reasons, but we had this whole shoot in a different part of Cuba that never got done, and I still go back and look at the photos because I think it's one of the craziest scouts, like with just the capabilities of it. So like one day when the border opens back up, maybe do that, and that's on the gym films. Otherwise, it was always just like a crazy, let's go buy a shitty car and try to get somewhere dangerous.
We've done that.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
It's always fun. And I don't know if it's, I think there's a smaller bit of the audience that enjoys it. It's not 1 million views, but it's something that like we always really enjoyed as a group. So,
All right, I'd never do this, but the Smoldering Rim says it's my son's 8th birthday. He's an aspiring F1 driver. Can you wish him a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Sebastian. If you've made it this far into this podcast, you're probably asleep because you're 8.
Happy birthday, Sebastian.
Yeah.
And maybe you should is there like a non-explicit version of this?
I don't recommend you let your kids listen. David Hasselhoff Meister Kink Shame. Opinion on rebadging foreign cars sold in the U.S. to their home brand, such as Pontiac GTO or G8, and going for the Holden badging. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of love the Merkur XR4 Ti, which is a rebranded Sierra.
Yeah.
And it was done at a time when the U.S. companies were so trying to be German that they created a fake brand to import cars built in Europe as a German car to compete with BMW. It's marketing.
It's interesting, and like it seems in hindsight so silly.
Yeah.
Like they came up with like an unpronounceable fucking name
that sounded close to Mercury,
Yeah.
and they were available at Mercury dealerships. And on top of all of that, now anyone who owns them rebrands them back as Fords.
Yeah. If you have one now, it probably says Sierra 500 or something on the back.
Yeah. So, but I'm okay with it. I miss that era. I feel like we've gotten onto this global car world where we kind of just get a bit of everything now, and I miss there being like these weird cars in Brazil or Australia that you didn't get here, and then all of a sudden you'd get like a little peek of it. I mean, look, Chevy was never going to build the GTO for the American audience. They built it because they already had it.
Yeah.
Like we would have never gotten the GTO or the G8, and those are both fun cars.
The G8 was a good car. The GTO, I wish, was just called whatever the fuck they call it in Australia.
Monaro.
It didn't. Yeah, Monaro. Yeah, it just didn't feel like GTO, especially because Mustang had, Ford had this retro
had come
future
proper
thing
with the retro
that
thing.
really looked like it. In hindsight, by comparison, it looked kind of lame, even though it was a nice car.
Yeah, I was in my mid-20s. It had an LS and could do donuts, so I was pretty stoked by it.
Cayman Masayak. Cayman Mysock. Okay. Oh, Cayman Mysock. Got it. You have a rally through a South American country. What car would you give the 911 Dakar treatment? And what country would you want to drive in? Sorry.
Which car would I give the Dakar treatment? It's crazy to me. I'm just going to point this out of saying, like thinking of like something as a 911 Dakar treatment.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because like
like the
because to
rally
me it's
car,
a Safari.
building
It's like
a rally
Safari
car.
spec car or something. I like the Volkswagen Quantum Synchro.
Yeah.
It's all-wheel drive. They made variants of that, like the Santana and stuff that was available in South America, so you'd be able to find parts. Volkswagens are sort of like really big in South America, so spare parts are pretty good. And I already own one. I have a white one of those. Actually, might have been mine, but and it's a wagon. Like I think wagons are like the best for travel. Yeah, that thing is perfect.
That's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. So it's basically
I would do
4,000
a
wagon.
Mercedes 500 SLC wide body rally. You know, from the 80s, the fixed roof coupe.
Yeah.
Rally car.
Yeah. A crazy thing that never happened at Hoonigan was we got ASAP Rocky bought one. And it like ended up at our shop, and they were like, and it was like, yeah, ASAP wants you guys to finish this, and it just never ended up happening. And like, you know,
What happened to the car?
we eventually just shipped it back to them. Like they closed a building. Wheel Pros had closed down the building, and like one of the last things to leave was like ASAP's Mercedes, like in the corner. But they built a fake one for a music video, and then he was like, "I want a real rally car." Like so, they sent it to us to build, and that was pretty cool.
I bet they drive like bleh, but they look awesome, and that's all.
Yeah,
that matters,
looking cool is
really.
more important.
Looking cool is more important. All right, hang on.
Sorry.
Let's see. Single barrel V8 vintage. What song turns your sensible drive into an action movie soundtrack, making it impossible to stick to the speed limit?
Mine is going to be so incredibly cliche.
Okay.
Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart.
All right, that is cliche.
It's
You're
so
right.
cliche, but it's so good. The other one is the Girl Talk soundtrack, like Girl Talk album.
yeah, Girl
That's
Talk.
my Canyon music. I don't know what it is. It just flows really well. It's like good flow. Like I don't know if it makes me drive too fast, but it's like Girl Talk, like that first whatever that album was. Like yeah.
If I had to pick one song, I would say probably like "Toxicity" by System of a Down.
I could see that.
That'll
that
do
whole
it.
album.
Yeah.
Any of them will make me
That'll
speed
do
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And cliche, but from Super Troopers, the BD Bada Boda, whatever it's called song, dude, it's got a jam and it's got a good beat to it.
Yeah. Is that it? One more, and
The
then
last one's about Czinger, so we can save it. Or we can talk about it.
Yeah. So, do you want to? I can do that one. Zach's new coilover pothole awareness. Can you talk about Czinger beating the Koenigsegg Sedair Spear Laguna Seca time by 2 seconds? Yeah. Basically, to my understanding, when they did the previous Laguna Seca time, when they beat their record by only a small amount, the record that Koenigsegg had taken back from them. Joel crashed the car on his second lap, went off and went into the tire wall and fucked up the aero a bit. And so went out and managed to set a lap that did break their previous best, but it wasn't the best that they could do.
Right.
It was the best that they could do on that day after having just crashed the car into a tire wall and patching it up with fucking duct tape or whatever. It's a miracle they did get a lap down, but they went back and they got, I think, better weather. And they had a fixed car.
Yeah, so the timeline was in November 7th of this year, Koenigsegg beat Zinger's time by just 0.6 of a second.
Yeah.
And now Czinger went back 1 month later, essentially, a month and a week, and beat their time by 2 seconds.
2 seconds at Laguna.
Do you feel like this is ramping back up again, or am I just out of the sort of circle right now of track times and also Nürburgring times? Do you feel like this is coming back? Because I feel like when I was at 0 to 60, it was the height of the Nürburgring runs.
Which was ZR1 GTR.
And then obviously the Viper.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think ring times are still promoted and talked about as much as they were back then. I think what these folks are doing is trying to have a track besides Nürburgring that people care about. Like the fact that Koenigsegg went to Laguna and these guys, I mean, this is Zinger's backyard more.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to establish other
and a lot of
track
people, I
records
feel like Gunther has done some time. A bunch of people are trying to do
I think
times
it's a self-perpetuating cycle. The more people know what a good lap time is on a track, the more people will go to that track and set a good lap time, and that happened with the Nürburgring for a while, and then they're like, wait, can we have an America? And they sort of, once the Viper did the 133, and that was the special edition, and then Randy beat it and did the 20, then it was like, okay, now it's kind of on, and because Zinger's a California company and doing this thing, they're all aboard Laguna.
Well, they did a bunch of records in a week, and I mean, this is also a lot cheaper than rent. If you want to close the Nürburgring to try to set your time, hopefully the conditions are right. I think the cost is probably much higher than renting Laguna Seca.
The 21C will make sound at Laguna too. It doesn't need a special exhaust. You can run a quiet day. The 21C, it's not that loud.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, what is the new time? Is it a 22?
I don't know.
Wait, 122.3, dude, at Laguna. Dude, the Viper ACR that they were selling was a 133, and Randy Popst in the Senna, in the McLaren Senna, did a 27.
Yeah.
And this is 5 seconds a lap quicker than a fucking Senna. That car, and Max from Czinger hit me up, and he was like, this white car is going to be drivable. Like, I was like, can I take it to the track? And he was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
So I drove one of these. It was unfucking believable, dude.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to maybe try to dust off my automotive journalist identification card and get it reinstated. I haven't driven a press car, like other than like loaners I get because they're companies I work with, like Audi or like Hyundai or something like that. But what are 3 cars I should drive? Like what are?
Oh, this is a good one.
Because I'm
3 cars you haven't,
and realize like when I left, it's been so long. Like when I left, like I don't even think the C7 was launched.
Okay,
wow.
Right,
Got
so
it.
like I was like,
got it.
Like one of the last cool things I drove was the Pratt Miller race car. Right,
yeah.
That's the end of my era because I started Hoonigan with Ken in 2010. So like 2009 is like my cutoff. What are things have so changed. Like, what are those like 3 cars? They're like, you really need to experience this.
Okay. I mean, if you can get in this
almost seems like too crazy. But
yeah, but you probably could get a drive in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. This is bananas. This is the differentest thing that is out there.
Right.
Let's see. You should also drive. Oh, this is a great question.
That's a very good question. I think you should drive. I would say a Lucid Sapphire.
Yeah, or a Taycan Turbo GT.
Or that because of the magic suspension. Drive
yeah.
the fastest, most advanced EV just to see where they're at.
Yeah.
And then either like a 911 ST because it's like new but sort of retro.
Yeah.
Or the new Turbo
like
S, like hybrid, or a Corvette ZR1.
I think the ZR1's almost too close to this because they're both insane power. But the Z06 I think is interesting because looks like Corvette, feels like Corvette, sounds like Ferrari.
Right.
And it's almost like, here's how inexpensive, relatively, performance has gotten. Because last time you had a press car...
I had a C8 for a year.
Oh, you did?
So,
That's right.
So that is a pretty amazing platform considering the price.
Yeah.
What they've done with that. So.
Yeah, then I think...
911 ST, a Czinger, and a fucking either a Lucid Sapphire or a Taycan Turbo GT.
Yeah.
The guys from Lucid actually reached out to me, maybe because I was on this pod, but I was just saying that I didn't really find EVs to be fun to drive because they don't handle. And they reached out to me and said, "Hey, you need to come drive this now."
No, they do. There's a lot of criticisms of EVs, but the ones that are really fast, they fucking handle. And the other one you should try is the Mach-E Rally, which is like has unbelievable body control, and you can fucking rotate it on dirt.
I saw a clip from you.
It's spectacular. They're the jam.
All right.
If I couldn't get my car sorted into ice race, I was going to call Ford and see if they would give me a Mach-E Rally for that. But Manx will be more fun.
When do you think the Mustang Raptor is going to make? Do you think that's actually coming to fruition?
The Safari Mustang?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a fun idea.
It would be cool. They should.
I think it'd be badass.
They absolutely should. Yeah. Well, and Jamal Hamidi has left Jaguar Land Rover and is developing an off-road supercar under his own brand now.
Oh,
supposedly. Wow. Is this a real rumor that there's going to be a Mustang Raptor?
Yeah.
It's a real
rumor.
Really?
Yeah, it's a real rumor. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I've spoken to people internal who are saying that it's happening. The
That's
Raptor has done so well.
Yeah.
They've seen the opportunity with Dakar and all this, that for them there's an audience that would want this at maybe a lower price point or entry point, and it works really well.
I bet it would be amazing.
Yeah.
that would be a fun car to drive across South America, Mustang rally car.
100%.
Sure.
That would be an amazing time, dude. That would be fucking so good. I love that.
Yeah.
Good time.
I'll take that to ice race.
Scotto's podcast is on your YouTube channel, and wherever people get podcasts.
Yeah, wherever people get podcasts.
Search Brian Scotto.
Yeah, it's called Very Vehicular. That's it.
Not vehicular man's laughter. That'll be our
yes.
Very Vehicular, a Scotto podcast.
Yeah, you see where it's
Smart
coming.
man.
Leave the door
You're leaving
open.
the door open.
Leave
Yeah,
the
there'll be
door
like
open.
19 of them. None of them will ever finish. I'll have 25 podcasts. Only half of them run. But, you know,
Oh, boy.
not here for a long time.
Well, 2.5 hours. Flies right
it's
by.
all right.
It's
That's
not,
that's
they don't all have to be records, but
No,
they can.
I don't want to set another record. I let the record stand.
Yeah.
Breaking your own record
for
is
losers.
obnoxious.
Right, Zinger?
Gotta let other people come in.
Well, they let
and
companies
top,
that come in
and
and come
top
back.
yourself.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Good luck getting home in that S8.
It was making some weird noises, but we'll figure it out.
They all do that.
Yeah.
See
That's
the
just
rest of
Audi life.
See the rest of y'all next week. Bye.